If you like offense, you will like this one. Arkansas State and New Mexico State. Red Wolves undefeated in Sun Belt play, and the Aggies coming off a Sun Belt win 2 weeks ago. The Aggies coming off a bye week, 9 days for the Red Wolves to get ready for this one. It is a little cool here in southern New Mexico tonight, 65 degrees, and it could get into the mid-50s. So we're not quite used to this, but it is later October, and it's 65 degrees as we approach kickoff here in Las Cruces. All right, Danny, your keys to the game here tonight.
Well, Adam, it is cool. This is football weather for sure. This is how I see the game coming together. You got to pressure Hansen. So their quarterback's very good. And if you ask any quarterback what really gets them, it's pressure. So we got to find a way to put pressure on him. Don't let him get comfortable back there. The next thing is limit turnovers. I know we had a couple games where we threw a couple picks and threw quite a many picks. So you got to limit the turnovers to beat a good team. Without a doubt, number one, I think, almost in flipped order, special teams. Special teams has hurt us in the past. I heard we had a little focus on it. So I hope special teams, we can win that part of the game. And in doing so, I think we're going to be hanging around for the fourth quarter, which is what we'll need to do.
This has the chance to be a breakout year for Aggie head coach Doug Martin. He's now in his 5th year at New Mexico State. Already 3 wins for the program. The Aggies haven't had more than 3 wins in a season since 2011 when they went 4-9. So if they get that 4th win tonight, the first 4-win season since 2011, the last 5-win season was 0-4. And the Aggies with a bunch of games left, this would be a marquee win tonight if Doug Martin and his program can get it. On the other sideline, it is Blake Anderson, who is in his 4th year as the head coach of Arkansas State. And finally, for the Red Wolves, some consistency at the head coach helm. They've had Brian Harsin, Gus Malzahn, Hugh Freeze, now Blake Anderson in his 4th year. Freeze, Malzahn, and Harsin were all one-and-dones. Blake Anderson already has 28 wins at Arkansas State, and he's done it in impressive fashion. 26 of his 28 wins have been in double figures. Now, this series history goes way back, but the Aggies and the Red Wolves haven't met all that often the last 20 years. Now, since the Aggies have rejoined the Sun Belt, they've met. Last meeting, of course, was last year. The Red Wolves have done well against the Aggies in the recent years, but the Aggies won 6 of the first 7 meetings. The Red Wolves have won 4 in a row against the Aggies, and this is the 12th all-time meeting here tonight. We're glad you could join us. Sun Belt action. Adam Young and Danny Nee on hand. Our director is Vinny Conway. Our producer is Evelyn Sandoval. Lorenzo Aguilera on our crew. Hope you enjoy this one. Danny, we could see a lot of points on the scoreboard tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. There's going to be a lot of points, and so it's going to be one of those where you have to stay on volley. So you can't shut out Arkansas State to 0. It's not going to happen. Everyone wrote about it. Coaches talked about it. It's true. But you've got to stay on volley when they score. So the defense, if they could slow them and not just give them the run of the muck and score whenever they need to, that'll be good. But it's keeping up with the volley on scoring, Adam.
And the Aggies will return the opening kick. This is the Route 66 kickoff. If the Aggies return this kickoff for a touchdown, one lucky fan will win $10,000 courtesy of Route 66. Sawyer Williams, a redshirt sophomore from Allen, Texas, will kick off for the Arkansas State Red Wolves. 3-0 in the Sun Belt. There's Jason Huntley emerging as a star in his sophomore year. He's back deep for the Aggies, trying to go to 2-2 in league play and get that 4th overall win. We are underway here in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And this one is returnable for Jason Huntley, who breaks a tackle. Huntley to the 20, to the 30, and he's up past the 35-yard line. Good field position early for Huntley and the Aggies.
How about that speed? You know, he's one of the fastest players for Aggies, and I think he got to the corner because they all collapsed, and once he gets to that corner, he's going to be heck to catch. Great start.
36-yard return for Jason Huntley, who had 27 touches 2 weeks ago. That's because Larry Rose III was out. Rose III is back, and after that open week, Danny, New Mexico State has been able to get healthy. Their 2 linemen who are out, Doc Statter and Candelaria, are back. Jaleel Scott's fully healthy, so that bye week came at a really good time for the Aggies.
Yeah, you know, I think no matter what happens, when you're playing this game, through consecutive weeks of travel and just preparation, you're going to end up with injuries. And so to get healthy and be back to near 100% is going to be important for this game tonight, because this is going to be a good one. This is a good contest, a good measuring stick for the Aggies.
That was Josh Aganon, who was down for the Aggies, and he walks off on his own power to the Aggie sideline. And we'll get our first look at Tyler Rogers in the Aggie offense. Rogers is among the nation's leaders in pretty much every single passing category, and the Aggies throw it a ton. Rogers has attempted 50 or more passes in all but 3 games this year. The Aggies are hoping for more balance here tonight, though. Rogers on first down. Quick pass goes to Greg Hogan, who's coming off his best game as an Aggie this year. Hogan had a breakout game, Danny, 2 weeks ago against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, you know, how about all the talk with Coach early on saying, I have to get our running game going. He comes out, open, set, no one in the backfield. Everyone's spread out, and it's just man on man, and Hogan gets a few good yards on that first down.
Aggies are hoping for more balance, though, this week, trying not to be one-dimensional. This is Rose, the third in the backfield with Rogers. A delayed give to Larry, who's coming off an injury, a knee injury. And he rumbles ahead for the first down for New Mexico State. Larry Rose III, a senior out of Fairfield, Texas.
You know, it's been a few games since we've had both Larry Rose and Jason Huntley healthy, and I think both of those combos, those duo, is going to make it very tough for the opposing players, opposing team. This little draw right here, great call after that first pass.
Rose gets 7 yards for an Aggie first down, and they're into Red Wolves territory. Fake handoff in the flat, O.J. Clark. Clark across the 40-yard line. The Aggies are moving the ball well early, Danny.
Yeah, you know, I think certainly Coach is one of those where I want to run. But if they come out and back off the receivers, I don't think Coach Martin is afraid to say, you know what, I'll throw the ball every single play. I'm perfectly okay with that. Tyler has shown that he can handle that, so that's a good choice.
Rose the third in the backfield with Tyler Rogers, the redshirt senior. Handoff goes to Larry. Larry trying to angle out to his right, still on his feet. He's elusive. And it's going to take a few white jerseys to get him down. And in the tackle was Ronheen Bingham, a junior from Bennettsville, South Carolina.
Now, he was really working that. He was looking for that one little sliver where he can kind of stick his nose in there. Hey, when we look at some of the impact players, here's what we think we have to watch. Jaleel Scott, certainly for the Aggies. A 6'6 receiver, had 2 TDs last week. Larry Rose, we just saw him. He's a guy to really, got to keep an eye on him. Also have the middle linebacker Wilson from Arkansas State you got to watch.
And you have to watch out that front line for Arkansas State. They are big. That right there was Christian Howard making the stop there for the Arkansas State Red Wolves. They're going to use a lot of guys too, Howard and many others.
Yeah, they will go through a lot of guys there. And you're right, that defensive front up front for Arkansas State is very tough, and you have to be able to shut those guys down. So look for little long counts, maybe a little misdirection, quick dumps so he doesn't sit on the ball too long in the backfield.
3rd down and 13 for the Aggies. Empty backfield for Tyler Rogers. Near side, Jaleel Scott. Well away from the first down marker. And we'll see what the Aggies do here. Dylan Brown is the field goal kicker, and this is going to be a little too deep for Dylan, potentially. This would be a 52-yarder for Dylan Brown. The Aggies kind of in no man's land here, Danny. Yeah, really can't punt it from here either. You could, but not a great punting situation if the Aggies did try to punt it.
Yeah, so I agree, and I think this is your 4th down where you just got to go for it and get as many yards as you can.
It's 4th down and 8. The Aggies need the 27-yard line. And the Aggies will go for it with 5 out wide. And we get a whistle. I don't see a flag, but we get a whistle. And it looks like a timeout was called just before the ball was snapped.
First charge timeout.
So no flag, just a timeout called by Arkansas State.
30-second timeout.
This is a tough situation here, Danny, at the 35-yard line. It's 4th down and 8. You could punt it, but you really can't do much with it. Dylan Brown, a year ago at the JUCO level, made a 50-yarder. That was his long. This year, his long is 39, so we don't really know yet if he has the leg for a 52-yarder.
Yeah, I agree. So this is one where you don't want to necessarily punt it. Certainly they have some good punt returners as well, so you're down in this no man's land, as you said, and I think this is where you just got to go for it.
Tyler Rogers, 3rd in the country in passing yards, just under 2,500. He's also run for scores in 4 straight games. Aggies with 5 out wide again. A host of receivers for the 6th-year senior Rogers, who's flushed out of the pocket. Rogers throws towards the sideline, has a receiver, but he skips it to him. It was intended for O.J. Clark, and that's turnover on downs.
Yeah, you know, he had him right there. So three-man pressure, that's pretty good for a defensive front there. But Tyler rolls out there and just can't get it to Clark, who broke free right at the very end.
Well, the Aggies moved the ball well early, and then that really good Arkansas State front line able to step up for the Red Wolves. And now we'll get our first look at Justice Hansen, a redshirt junior quarterback. Both these quarterbacks are big. Hansen 6'4", 218. And he began his collegiate career at Oklahoma. He's at his third different school in year 2 with the Red Wolves. Screen pass goes to Justin McInnes. McInnes up to the 45-yard line as he rumbles down there.
You know, that's that same pass that other teams have run on the Aggies, and we just can't seem to get there in time to just a quick little dump-off screen, tunnel screen almost, and we just can't get to that fast enough to shut it down.
That's good enough for a first down for the Red Wolves. Hand off to Johnston White. We're going to see a bunch of running backs for Arkansas State. We may or may not see Warren Wand, who's been their number 1 back, but he missed last week's game against Louisiana with an ankle injury, and he was a game-time decision. But if Wand doesn't play, you have Johnston White, Jamal Jones, and also Chauncey Mason.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 55, Arkansas State. 15 yards. Second down.
Unsportsmanlike are J.P. Filbert of Arkansas State. Here's our replay.
Just couldn't see anything.
No. Filbert's an Iowa State transfer in his first year with the Red Wolves after 2 years with the Cyclones of Iowa State. So that'll push back the Red Wolves. Here on second down. White in the backfield, motions to the right of Hansen. It's a pitch to White. Aggies all over it, but White able to break a tackle. He was able to get by Terrell Hanks to get to the sideline.
I like the pursuit. So great pursuit to their short side of the field they're running to, and we sure came screaming up in a hurry. So here's the players to watch when the Aggies are on defense. You have to Roy Lopez, big Roy Lopez up front, good guy. Shemad Lomax, secondary. Blake Mack, a tight end. You got to watch him. Converted tight end from a wide receiver. He'll be a tough one.
It is third down and 24 for Arkansas State. They need the Aggie 45-yard line, a long way to go for the quarterback Hansen. He has 4 receivers. The tailback is White again. White motions to his left. We have a flag. Aggies were pointing out something there in the front, and it's going to be on Arkansas State.
Offense, number 14, 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Start on the Red Wolves, and that will push them back even further. Chris Murray throwing his hands up in the air, wondering what he did. Fourth down and 21. Check that. Third down and 21 for Arkansas State. Murray in motion. They're just going to hand it off here to Johnston White as he smashes it up the middle, and he's hit from behind. And that was Malik Demby, who we really need to see tonight.
Yeah,
play a role.
Yeah, no doubt, Adam. You know, we had a chance to speak with Coach, and we'll talk about that more later in the show here. But Malik Demby is one of those ones where you need someone to step up and play big. We saw him come on the scene at Arizona State doing those same types of tackles and hits, and just very athletic guy. Good to see him back.
Cody Grace, the punter. Larry Rose, the third back returning punts for the Aggies. His long this year is 37. This is his first year returning punts. It's a high boomer. Rose calls for a fair catch. He better hope he didn't touch it. The Red Wolves will pick it up anyway. That's Trent Ellis Brewer just trying to make sure that Larry Rose III did not touch it. Awfully dangerous right there for Larry.
You know, I couldn't tell from here, but he walked away from that convincingly like, I didn't touch that.
A punt of 40 yards for Cody Grace, and the Aggie offense back to work for their second series when we come back. We're scoreless in Las Cruces. This week, and we had the bonfire footage here just moments ago. We're already back to action, so they're wasting no time down there on the field. Nothing doing for Jason Huntley on first down. Larry Rose III will come in for him as the Aggies have their second series here tonight offensively.
Yeah, this is one where you got to get Connor Kramer's got to get that block right there on 15. He just didn't hold that block and just really blew up the play before it had anything.
The Aggies are going to try to run the ball a little more here tonight, try not to be so one-dimensional. They've thrown the ball a ton this year. They're going to throw on second down. Rogers lofting it, and it's caught by Jaleel Scott, the 6'6" wide receiver. They're going to say it's incomplete now. Fans thought he came down with it. Jaleel thought he did as well.
So how many of these have we seen him catch this year and all been in bounds? So nice to get some of these here. That's a great job of going up at the high point and grabbing that ball.
Almost got a foot in. Folks around here think Jaleel Scott's going to play on Sundays and could be a draft pick when the NFL draft approaches here in a few months.
You know, that's a good matchup we'll have to watch. That's a 6'6" guy going against Kyle Martin, who's 5'9" out there in the corner.
3rd down and 14 for the Aggies. Pin deep. They're going to loft it near sideline, and that one bounces in front of O.J. Clark, the intended target. And now the Aggies will have to punt.
Yeah, that's a timing route there, and you could just see the timing is just not quite there where that ball was already up in the air before his cut, and it just couldn't get there.
Now this Red Wolves secondary is really good. Blaze Taylor, Nehemiah Wagner, B.J. Edmonds, Michael Johnson. But they're a little undersized, and we think maybe the Aggies can take advantage of that size. Peyton Theisler will punt it away to Blaze Taylor, who's one of the best returners in the Sun Belt. 4 career punt return touchdowns for Taylor, who has to drift back. Backpedals near the 30. Returnable for Taylor. Taylor can't get to the 40. Taylor's going to veer back to his right. Flags everywhere. Taylor across the 40 to the 45 near midfield. And we'll see what the flag is. A pretty good return there for Blaze Taylor when nothing was happening.
It looked like they had him bottled up quite a few times there, didn't they?
He's elusive at 5'9", 166. Our referee is Jeremy Parker tonight. Look at this. Just dances around. Kind of reminds you of Larry Rose III a little bit. Yeah,
he just finds that spot and just kind of sticks his head in there, a little crease, and he goes.
Illegal block in the back. 17 on the return team. 10 yards from that spot. 1st down.
Illegal block in the back on Darvion Brown, the redshirt sophomore from Warren, Arkansas. A good punt for Theisler at 51 yards, 18-yard return for Taylor, but the Red Wolves, because of the penalty, pushed back a little further. Red Wolves ball when we come back. First time in over a month here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. The Aggies will play 3 of their final games this year at home, though. And tonight's game is sponsored by the New Mexico Department of Agriculture and the New Mexico Farm and Livestock Bureau. And it's homecoming in Ag Day here at Aggie Memorial, and we have a proposal on the video board. That's why the fans are screaming. There's a proposal, Danny, on the video board to our left as play resumes. Nothing doing there on the ground for Arkansas State. That's pretty cool.
That's real cool. I wanted to look up at the board, but I don't want to see what the play's going on here, so you're kind of watching both ways there. Hey, defense, it's all about defense. You got to be able to shut them down. They've got a lot of guys you talked about being able to run the ball, but when you plug that middle, it's tough to run.
They fake the run, but now Hansen will tuck it and keep it. Hansen dances to the sidelines, and the Aggies meet him there. And a flag comes out. I think it's a late hit on the Aggies, Danny.
Yeah, you can't do those things. That's just discipline in there, and you didn't make the 1st down, and so you're able to come back, and it's just something you don't need.
That was Javon Ferguson, who was near the sideline, and some extracurriculars maybe from Javon. Yep. In the way his motion was, too, it seemed like he was trying to pop the ball out, but Hansen was already out of bounds.
15 yards added into the run. 1st down, Arkansas State.
You can look at it as 2 ways, too. Javon should not do that, but Javon Ferguson's also a little amped up. This is the 2nd defensive possession for the Aggies.
Yeah, so they're certainly trying to fly to the ball and make something happen. So you can't really tell them back off. You still got to say go, go, go the whole way, but you got to be able to say on some of those you got to let it go. When he hits that white, get out of there.
So it's 1st down and 10 for the Red Wolves. Quick pass to Kendrick Edwards. 3 crimson jerseys right there. Dalton Harrington, Shamad Lomax, 2 of the guys on the stop for the Aggies.
Yeah, we talked about Shamad Lomax as being an impact player there, and you saw him close on that really fast. As soon as they popped up and he stopped to get the ball, Shamad just came screaming in. But look at the aggressive play of 4 Aggies. run into the ball.
2nd down and 7. Play action for Hansen. He rifles it near side of the field. Intended for Omar Bayless. Incomplete. 3rd down upcoming for the Red Wolves.
And Hanks is there in coverage along with secondary, so there's not a lot happening there. Good pressure on Hansen. Talked about pressure and the keys, and he had pressure, so he had to get rid of the ball.
And just like Tyler Rogers, Justin Hansen has a number of wide receivers and also a tight end he can go to. He connected with 9 different receivers in their win against Louisiana last Thursday.
And you know, and the other thing is you can't let him out of your sight.
Previous play is under further review.
Previous play under review. What would they be reviewing here, Danny?
I'm not sure where they're going with that.
DeMarcus Owens was on the coverage on the previous play, and right when our referee Jeremy Parker said that upstairs, everyone looked up and said, what? And DeMarcus Owens threw his hands in the air. Terrell Hanks was there as well. And now Doug Martin gets the explanation for the Aggie sideline.
Set to 7:30. 7:30 is correct. Thank you.
Maybe just had to change the clock.
Yeah, maybe they just had to check on the clock, make sure everything was okay.
Clock reads 7:30 left here in the first quarter. Red Wolves 0 of 1 on 3rd down tonight. Hansen with pressure, escapes pressure. Shovel toss, incomplete. And that was a dangerous toss.
That was, but look at Hansen getting out of there. You know, you talked about his passing last week, and he was able to scramble and run very good last week as well. But the pressure on him is tough there. There's Malik Demby again in the backfield. And then we have a host of Aggies coming in to close it out.
I know we still have a long way to go, but a few offensive series for both and nothing to show so far. And a lot of our talk early was about how high scoring this game could be. 2nd timeout for Cody Grace, Perth, Australia native. And he will punt it away to Larry Rose III. Good job so far by both defenses. Low snap. Another good punt here for Grace. Fair catch called by Larry Rose III. And the Aggies will start at the 12-yard line. And we'll go to break again. Let's see if the Aggies can generate some offense when we come back. A couple of really good quarterbacks here tonight. Justice Hansen for Arkansas State. And we'll see Tyler Rogers for New Mexico State after these messages. This 7:10 left to go here in the first quarter. Tyler Rogers in the Aggie offense back to work. And check out these numbers, Danny. He's been one of the nation's best this year.
Yeah, he's tough. You know, when he gets on rhythm and he gets going, he's hard to stop. And of course, that's why he has first in the nation in completions and several other categories that he's doing so well in.
And they will go to the ground on 1st down from the 12. Larry Rose III, the ball carrier. And Larry gets 4 yards up to the 16. It's 2nd down and 6 for the Aggies.
You know, Coach talked about establishing the run, and the whole thought process behind that is if you become one-dimensional, it makes it easy for a defense to say, yeah, they're not going to run and just attack. That's why you have to be able to establish that run.
Rogers 3 of 6 so far for just 19 yards. Delayed give to Rose as a helmet flies off. Rose has enough for the 1st down. That was one of the big offensive linemen who had the hat fall off. That was Desmond Candelaire, who has to head off for one play. Good run for Larry Rose III.
Yeah, it's nice to see Larry Rose back, and that's the Larry Rose before all these little injuries have kind of affected him. But he gets in there and finds that crease and just puts his head down and gets it.
So Candelaire, the right guard, is out for a play because of his helmet flying off. 1st down and 10 for the Aggies. Rogers takes the snap. Rogers looking left and throwing right. Has an open receiver, but he totally missed O.J. Clark.
Yeah, you know, there was 2 he missed. He missed Clark at the top, and then there was a couple down on the bottom of the screen as well. So you ended up running, and they're stacked in the box trying to stop the run, and now you pick up and throw the ball, and you're one-on-one coverage, and so those are there. So they're going to come back to it for sure, and they'll connect on those.
2nd down and 10 for the Aggies from the 24-yard line. Jason Huntley on the ground. Huntley dances around defenders up to the 30-yard line. A few yards shy, though, of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 for the Aggies.
You know, when Jason's in or Larry's in, it's kind of hard to tell the difference because they're both the same style of runner where they just get through there, and it's hard to find them. And when you do, you got to hang on because they're squirming around.
They're going to call it 5 yards here, so 3rd down and 5 for the Aggies. Trying to avoid another punt. Larry Rose III, the running back here. The Aggies with 2 on the top side of your screen, 2 on the bottom side. Rogers has time, and he overthrows O.J. Clark again. Just not in sync right now, Danny.
Yeah, you know what? The rhythm's not there, and so I think it's just not quite synced up a little bit there. You see O.J. little bummed that he missed that pass there. Yeah, there's been a few of those that have been very close like that, but the rhythm is going to be there. They just got to stay with it. The defense has got to keep holding on, and the offense will click. They'll find it.
Aggies are now 0 of 3 on 3rd down. For the year, they're 51%, which is 7th in the country and the best in the Sun Belt. Theisler will boot it away again to Blaze Taylor. And he gets this one towards the sideline. Not a great punt, but you do avoid Blaze Taylor, and that's what you're probably trying to do.
Yeah, you want to put it out of bounds there so he doesn't have a chance for a return on you.
They will mark it at the 35-yard line, a punt of only 36 for the sophomore Theisler. I guess you have to give a lot of credit, too, to both defenses so far, but at least on the Aggies side, we've seen Tyler Rogers miss some open receivers.
And maybe some of that has to do with an open where you have lots of time and the rhythm just gets off just a little bit. Not sure, but they'll find it for sure because those passes are open.
Designed run here for Justice Hansen. He outruns Dalton Harrington up to the 45-yard line. He can move. He's a big guy at 6'4", 218, but he's coming off a game where he ran for a career-high 121 in a blowout win against Louisiana.
Yeah, and you see Dalton Harrington making him move to his left where he's got to help. He's got to watch him and contain him, and Dalton jumped in and just got out around him.
And there comes Roy Lopez with a sack. His first sack this year.
We talked about impact players, and that hoss right there, Roy Lopez, does a great job up front. You know, we had a chance to sit behind his dad at the Arkansas game and visit with him, and what a great guy, what a great family. And so he has really had a fantastic season so far for us, and we need him to keep going up there and plug those holes and get some sacks.
And Danny, he was a state champ wrestler in high school, and a lot of people say that carries over to collegiate football well.
That's what he's doing right now, every play.
Jamal Jones in the backfield right now in this pistol look for Arkansas State. And Hansen will tuck it again. He dives towards the 45-yard line. Malik Demby around LaForce. A couple of Aggies right there to make the stop.
You know, Arkansas State runs they'll have a run-pass option, which is very difficult. And one of the things that when we were talking with some of the players, Dalton Harrington, and then they said you can't overcommit because when you commit to one, then they'll do the other. So it's like an option. It's the latest phase of options in college sports where you have a run-pass option.
3rd down and 11 for Arkansas State. That's the tight end, Blake Mack, who's in motion to the top side of your screen. Hansen looking left, throws as he's hit, incomplete.
How about that pressure on Hansen? They're in his face. We saw, or anyone that watched the Louisiana game last Thursday, you can see what happens when Hansen has lots of time to sit back there because he can pick you apart. And that's why I thought it was going to be important. Part of the keys is to get pressure there. And look at the pressure that's on him. He just can't hold his time in the pocket there to get that pass out.
And it was redshirt sophomore Cedric Wilcox with the pressure, and he's having a breakout sophomore year. He's a Dallas native. Cody Grace will punt it away again to Larry Rose III. We're scoreless with under 4 left in the first quarter. Two of the best offenses in the Sun Belt going at it. Nothing to show so far. Fair catch called by Rose, and he dances up to the 17-yard line. Looking at the numbers, Danny, 41 points per game for Arkansas State, first in the Sun Belt. Aggies are averaging 31 per game. That is 3rd in the Sun Belt, and we have goose eggs right now.
It's the first one to blink, right? So that's why it's important that the defense has to just keep doing what it's doing, and then the offense come back, don't give up. They're going to find a rhythm. Just stay with it. That first drive was a good indication of what they can do when everything starts clicking. So Tyler's just got to stay with that flow, and he'll find it. He'll find that rhythm.
Rogers on 1st down. Bounces off one of his own linemen, chucks it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete, bobbled by Jonathan Boone.
Yeah, it's a tough one coming back and for Jonathan Boone to catch that. But if it hit him, and I think it did, he's got to pull that down somehow. It feels almost like he used his body instead of his hands. First of all, Tyler gets the ball out, which is like, oh, cringing because you're throwing it right there where there's 3 defenders.
Jason Huntley to the left of Rogers here on 2nd down and 10. No flow right now for either team offensively, and Huntley is smothered. That big D line led by Caleb Caston and D. Liner, the Alabama transfer.
Yeah, you know, there's just not a lot going there, Adam. That's a hoss right there, right?
D. Liner, my goodness.
Man. So if you can't get out around him, or if he's plugging a hole, he's plugging 2 gaps. You just got to keep bouncing it out, and they're just on contain and not letting Huntley loose, and I wouldn't either. So this puts us back into throwing situations.
Aggies lose 4 yards. D. Liner is 6'3", 337 at defensive tackle. He's out of the game right now. 3rd down and 14. Rogers drops back. Good throw, and it's caught and then dropped. It was in the midst of Jaleel Scott on a perfect throw by Rogers.
Oh, that's just too many of those in this first quarter where you have the quarterback, timing's not there, you have the receiver that it hits him and they can't pull it down. I think that's one where Scott says he's got to pull it. You know, he's just cringing a little bit. It's up in the air. This is a tough ball because he turns one way and has to turn, you know, they're really all the way around to try to get his body there, and he just couldn't pull it down.
Well, a lot of TV time tonight for Peyton Theisler. This is going to be his 4th punt. There's Blaze Taylor. Theisler, rugby-style kick, going away from Taylor again. It'll bounce to him, though, at the 40. Misses a tackler to the 40, to the 35-30. Taylor, 25, veers back to his right, and he's pulled down inside the 20. There's the dangerous returner, Blaze Taylor.
Yeah, you know, part of we're there. We're on coverage and we're on point on that, but you got to collect yourself before you make a stab at trying to make that tackle. Instead, we try to sweep out his feet, or we lose our feet there. So there you got to break down, and because you know he's going to throw a little jelly on you there.
Holding. Return team, number 7, 10 yards from the spot. 1st down, Arkansas State.
Holding was called on Omar Bayless on the return team. There's Bayless right there. So that will push back the Red Wolves. And the Aggies catch a huge break. My goodness. All the way back to the 50.
You know, we had coverage. We had guys down there, Adam. It's tough when you're going full blast and a guy's going to kind of throw you a little juke in there.
First down and 10 from the 50. Pistol look for Arkansas State. Hansen still has it. The Aggies were fooled, and he gets across the 40 for a 1st down. The Aggies thought it was Johnston White who had it.
That was a nice fake right there. He rode that ball all the way in there and pulled it out, and we jumped all over that dive. And he just pulled it and kept it around the end there and made good yardage. And here they go with tempo.
11-yard run for Justice Hansen. Quick toss. As Jonathan Adams Jr., a freshman out of Jonesboro, he makes the catch for the Red Wolves.
Yeah, I see them doing a lot more of that quick pass like that. And the reason is because we've had so much pressure on them that if you throw it quick, the pressure can't get there. So look for the quick passes. Look for some of those run-pass options.
Now a little bit of flow here for the Red Wolves, but a muffed snap. Hansen still picks it up and tosses. Adams Jr. again. Just his 5th catch this year, but his 2nd in a row.
What about the luck and the bounce, right? So how many times does a football come bouncing right to you or near you where you can pick it up and still make a throw? It just kind of shows where Hansen, his athleticism.
Good enough for a 1st down for the Red Wolves. And they're down to the Aggie 21-yard line. 1st down and 10. Jumbo look right here. Hansen to throw. What a catch. If he hauled it in, did he keep it? He did. Touchdown Arkansas State. Omar Bayless for the 4th time this year.
Yeah, here's this run pass option where you just end up kind of tossing it out there. Bayless makes a fantastic play on that. There he is back running a corner route back in there, and it just pulls it in one-handed.
Great throw, too, by Justice Hansen, who now has 22 touchdown passes and only 6 picks. The school record for a single year is only 24, so now he's 2 away from tying it. Sawyer Williams for the point after. And it's through. So it's 7-0 Arkansas State. Hansen and Bayless connect from 21 yards away, and finally the seal is broken as Arkansas State puts together a good drive to take a 7-0 lead.
You know, part of setting up that drive, Adam, was that there was a lot of keeps on Hansen's part there. So we're so aggressive of trying to stop that run that he's pulled out a couple and kept the drives alive and put them in position where they can start throwing the ball downfield a little bit.
Let's take a look here at the Sun Belt standings. 2 undefeated teams left at the start of play today. Appalachian State, they've had a couple of close ones. Arkansas State's blown out pretty much everybody. They're 3-0. And there's the Aggies in the middle of the pack at 1-2. So you look at the standings, Danny, and you can tell there it's going to be a marquee win if the Aggies can find a way to get a win tonight. But just what Arkansas State has done, they have dominated this conference. They have won 19 of their previous 20 Sun Belt games.
Yeah, it's very impressive, the record they've put together, and part of that is the recruiting that they've been able to complete there at Arkansas State. Aggies very tough. If you look at that list of leaders in the Sun Belt Conference, we've played them all very tough, but at some point in time you got to get past just being tough enough and win the game.
Well, you saw those standings. The Aggies have already played Appalachian State. They've already played Troy, and now they play Arkansas State. Those are the 3 teams that are picked to finish 1, 2, and 3 in the league this year. So this has not been an easy league schedule for the Aggies. Returnable again for Jason Huntley. He's moving east-west, but he finds some space. Jason Huntley trying to break Sawyer Williams' tackle. He does, and he's tripped up across the 45-yard line. How about that for Jason Huntley?
You know, Jason Huntley kind of squirming through there, finding that crease, jumping over people, making it happen. That's good stuff, and if it wasn't for the traffic downfield, he would have had this one out. So great play. You come up one way and you cut to the outside, back to the inside, finds a crease, makes it happen, and just doesn't give up. Great determination by Huntley.
Doug Martin says Jason Huntley is the fastest guy on the team, and that says a lot. There's some fast guys, Royce Caldwell, Larry Rose III, and some others. And he's the fastest. Larry Rose III, the running back. The Aggies will throw on first down. Pretty good job by the O-line. Rogers going deep. He has Anthony Muse, and it's through his fingertips and incomplete. The coverage there for Jeffrey Gibson, the junior.
You know, we like those one-on-one coverages, and we just can't pull any of those down. You need 1 or 2 of those big passes to kind of help open things up a little bit more. But you got to stick with those things. You got to get one of those big passes, and I think it'll start really opening up.
And Anthony Muse is coming off his best game as an Aggie. 106 yards receiving 2 weeks ago in the road win at Georgia Southern. Rose III will stay in. 4 out wide for the Aggies. They go back to the ground. Larry's tripped up. That was Javon Roland Jones, the first time we called his name during the game.
Yeah, it's surprising a little bit, and I think it just kind of tripped him, and really not a big hit on him, but he's a tough one. It's interesting that you run right at him. So that's one of the philosophies is you can run at him, you can throw over top because he is so aggressive. He's come screaming in.
Rose gets 2. It's 3rd down and 8 for the Aggies. From their own 48-yard line, they're 0 of 4 on 3rd down tonight. Rogers will launch. He's hit as he launches. Jaleel Scott's trying to hang on, and they finally say it's incomplete. Double coverage for the Red Wolves. There's Trooper Taylor, the cornerbacks coach for Arkansas State, helping up Jaleel Scott.
All right, we talked about pressure on Hansen, but look at this pressure on Rogers there, where he gets hit and has to throw the ball before he gets out of his cut, and he goes up for the ball, and
Here's the thing. If they review it, I don't think they're going to overturn it. I don't think there's enough evidence to overturn it. The call on the field is incomplete. But they may take a look. That's what the Aggies are trying to figure out right now, and they will. Take a look at this.
Timeout, New Mexico State.
Timeout, New Mexico State. Doug Martin will speak to one of the officials. We're going to see a replay again. It just looks like it maybe hit the ground, maybe at the very end.
You could be right. It's kind of hard to tell there, but look at the concentration right there. Yeah, he may not have that.
Remember the Super Bowl catch by David Tyree a few years ago for the Giants when he pinned it against his helmet? That's what Jaleel Scott did there.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, that is a heck of an effort. And we've seen two almost phenomenal catches by Jaleel Scott tonight. And the Aggies will punt it away. So they will not look at this. A timeout was called by the Aggies, and I think they saw as well that this one probably will not get overturned. Theisler with his 5th punt here in the first quarter alone. This one a line drive punt. Taylor cannot touch it. It will backspin to the Aggies, and it's down there just around the 10-yard line by Terrell Hanks. 7-0 Arkansas State late in the first quarter here in Las Cruces tonight. Adam Young and Danny Nee with you. So glad you could join us. The 4-2 Red Wolves, 3-0 in the Sun Belt, and Doug Martin's Aggies are 1-2 in Sun Belt play. They are 3-4 with their overall record. Looking for their 2nd straight win. Red Wolves trying for their 4th in a row. They've won 19 of the previous 20 Sun Belt games. And already a hanky, a flag down.
Got a penalty.
Broke the huddle with 12 players. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Here you hear it. Illegal substitution for the Red Wolves, and there's their head coach, Blake Anderson, who does not like to call.
Hey, that's 4 penalties on him right there. Hey, back to what we got going on offense. The rhythm is just a little bit off, but we have to just keep staying with it. Part of staying with it is our defense still has to get out there and try to get a 3 and out here.
Johnston White, the running back. Screen pass to McInnes, the 6'6 Canadian. And McInnes is up to the 15-yard line. Picks up 8 yards on the catch and run.
It's back to those quick throws because we've had so much pressure on Hansen. It's just 1, 2, 3, boom, out, get it out of his hands right away. And that gets back to that tough inside screen.
And that'll be all for the first quarter of play. Not a whole lot of offense so far tonight here in Las Cruces. Justice Hansen and the Red Wolves will have it. 2nd down and 7 from the 15 when we come back to Aggie Memorial. Bowl games. New Mexico State trying to get to a bowl game for the first time since 1960, Danny. It's been a long drought. New Mexico State already halfway to bowl eligibility. You get a win tonight, you're at 4. You only need 2 more. There's a lot of talk around here, isn't there, about bowl eligibility, about the Aggies getting it back there?
Yeah, there is lots of talk about that, and it's something we've talked about continuously for a number of years, and so this could be the year. This could really get us there, and so now you got to really try to pick up tonight.
Missed tackle by the Aggies. Malik Demby able to bring down Justice Hansen from behind. We were talking off the air earlier about Malik Demby and how he hadn't done much since the first couple of weeks. He's done a lot already in the first quarter plus.
He has. He got hurt. He came out of the game at ASU, and nobody really knew much about him from an opposing team, and he just dominated, and then he got his hand hurt. So he's back now, and it looks like he's flying around making a lot of things happen.
3rd down and 8 for the Red Wolves. In the backfield is Johnston White. We have not seen Warren Wand yet. Missed last Thursday's game at Louisiana, or against Louisiana, I should say, with an injury, an ankle injury. Hansen takes the snap. Hansen throws on a 3rd down, the tight end Blake Mack, but he is dropped immediately by newcomer Ron LaForce in his first year with NM State.
Yeah, Ron LaForce has really come on and done quite well, and part of that is you got to make a good tackle, but also Malik came in on that quick blitz from the outside to put pressure on him to keep that pressure up.
So another punt for the Red Wolves of Arkansas State. Cody Grace and Peyton Theisler, the two busiest guys in the stadium tonight. Larry Rose III is standing at his own 40. Nearly blocked there by the Aggies. Rose will backpedal to the 30-yard line, and he takes it there. Inside the 30, they will mark it at the 29-yard line, and that's where the Aggies come out and start offensively. A 53-yard booming punt by the Australian Cody Grace.
Offense, Adam, they just really haven't gotten much going. There's total offensive yards, they have 35. Just haven't been able to connect on some of those, but they will. They're going to be there, but we're just off, just by inches.
Aggie head coach Doug Martin said earlier this week the Aggies need to get off to a good start and also answer scores. Not a good start, but they haven't really had to answer scores yet. Out of the backfield is Jason Huntley, who caught 11 passes last week. We may get a late hit. Kyle Wilson and Justin Clifton on the stop. That was awfully close, but no flag.
That was tough. I want you to look at number 2, O.J. Clark here. Throw the ball out. It's the block that's taking place right there. That's what really made it. So O.J. really stayed with that block for a long time, and that's what really allowed him to get the corner and get whatever yards he could on it.
Tyler Rogers now 4 of 13 passing for 20 yards. Rogers on second down, and he's taken down. The big fella, Hunter Morton, there in the stop.
Sticks his one big paw out there and knocks down Tyler. Otherwise, he gets out there and keeps that play alive and keeps him moving. That's a tough break right there.
Loss of 5, third down and 14. The Aggies are 0 of 5 on a third down. They were 8 of 13 from third down in the last game against Georgia Southern. They just have not converted here tonight. Good pressure. Rogers escapes pressure. Sees some running room. And Rogers trying to reach for it. We'll see where they mark him. It looks like a few yards short of the first down marker.
And he was caught there, right? So as he broke out of there, no one was open, so wasn't sure what he was going to do with the ball. He saw the first down marker, and he made a run for it. He came close, but I think it's just a little short.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4th down and 2 for the Aggies, so Theisler back out. This is not how this game was supposed to go. We were supposed to see Justice Hansen and Tyler Rogers duking it out in the air, and it's been more of who's the better punter tonight, Peyton Theisler or Cody Grace.
Yeah, it's a lot of defensive struggle too, right? So defensive game plans are coming alive for both.
Low punt. It'll bounce to Blaze Taylor. He'll finally touch it. Blaze Taylor trying to say he shouldn't be hit right there. He was hit a little bit by Jaden Wright, and we'll get a little trash talking and a little scuffle near the 15-yard line. Arkansas State up 7-0. They have the football when we come back. We are nearing Halloween here in Las Cruces. It is 7-0. The Aggies trail the Red Wolves. First home game in over a month for NM State. Tonight's game sponsor is the New Mexico Department of Agriculture and also the New Mexico Farm and Livestock Bureau. Well, New Mexico State has had 7 possessions offensively so far. Turnover on downs on 1, 6 punts. But Danny Nee, give a whole lot of credit to this Aggie defense. They've been good against this powerful Arkansas State offense.
You know, when I talked to Coach Spaziani, he likes the way this defense is coming together, and he feels like now that they've had that week off, they can get healthy, they can get people back. You have people flying around. You see Blake Denby, which we haven't seen for a while. We saw Shane Jackson. He did a great job. It's nice to have everyone back so that you can do a lot of things there, and that defense is doing quite well.
Pistol look here for Arkansas State. Tailback is Jamal Jones, who will run it on first down. He runs right into Roy Lopez. Roy playing well again tonight for the Aggies. A 6'2", 310 sophomore from Tempe. Terrell Hanks was there as well.
You know, big Roy Lopez in the middle there. He's one of those positions where you just don't get a lot of credit, where you're going to take on double teams all day long and allow other people to make tackles, but he's doing a great job.
Hansen will throw on second down. Completes it to Dijon Pascal. First down for the Red Wolves. Pascal from Alabama with his 100th career catch right there.
It's a quick little toss and catch out there. Those receivers, we talked about how tall they are. He's 6'6", who just caught that ball.
Hansen has it stripped. Roy Lopez falls on it.
Why not? You go, Roy.
We do have a flag down, though.
And it's all about the pressure, though. It starts with the pressure.
And it's going to be an Arkansas State penalty declined. The Aggies force a turnover.
That's great, and so you have to take advantage of this now. It's a great field position. Now we got to punch it in there and stay on volley, right? Talked about keeping the scores going, so now it's a good time for Tyler to get going.
When was the last time we saw this, Danny, where the defense said, we're going to put this game in our hands, we're going to make plays to give the offense a better chance?
It's been a few years since it's been like that.
Great field position for the Aggies from the 25-yard line. Rose the third down to the 21. He gets 4 yards on the ground there.
You know, those are this is the fumble right here, but it starts with the pressure. Look at the pressure there. Knock the ball out, and everyone just Johnny on the spot, pick it up. Malik Demby again causing that fumble.
Demby and Lopez teaming up. Second down and 7. Right back to the ground. Larry Rose the third dancing around, trying to fight his way to the 16-yard line. He does. He gets 5 yards, but it's going to be third down and 2 for the Aggie offense.
Coach isn't giving up on that run, is he? He's going to come back and say, you know, we can do it.
7 carries, 31 yards for Larry Rose the third. Not a whole lot through the air. 4 of 13, just 20 yards for Tyler Rogers. And we're not used to seeing this. Rogers used to completing 30 passes a game. He's well off that pace right now. Third down and 2, maybe some movement early, no flag yet. Rogers, the handoff, running room. Larry Rose the third, muscling his way down to the 1-yard line.
How about the confidence in Larry Rose? You come back and you say, look, we've been a big throwing team, but we're going to come out here and we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball 3 times with Larry Rose. Gets a good block out front there, good block on the edge, and he just pushes it right in there. Now we can get tempo. They know they want to go a little faster, but look at the run. Look at the determination of Larry Rose. That's a great job right there.
Watch out for Bryce Roberts on the bottom side of your screen behind the O-lineman. Aggies go to the ground. Rose the third leans in, reaches towards the end zone. Is he in? They're going to mark it down.
Mark him short.
Half yard short. His knee was down as he was reaching. So he gets a half yard. And it's second down and goal for the half-yard line. Rose the third has 30 career rushing touchdowns.
There you can see him kind of pushing in there. Oh, that's tough. Maybe they felt like his knee touched.
From the half-yard line, right back to Larry, and he dances in this time. Touchdown, New Mexico State, the 31st career rushing score for Larry Rose III.
Well, I guess when it comes down to it, you go with the best thing you have, and Rose has been the best thing at New Mexico State. So a high dose of Larry Rose running the ball is what it takes to get us in the end zone.
And it all started with the defense. The forced fumble by Malik Demby. The scoop by Roy Lopez gave the Aggies outstanding field position. Dylan Brown sends it through, and we are tied 7-7 with 8:46 left in half number 1. The All-American dances into the end zone. He's done it 31 times in his career, and we're tied at 7 here in southern New Mexico. Much, 5 plays, 24 yards after the forced fumble. He's Mr. Personality, Danny. Larry Rose III, 10 rushes, 47 yards, and a score now. And the fans love him in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Always has a smile on his face, and he's able to tie this game up 7-7. And the Red Wolves will start at the 25-yard line after the touchback.
Look at the kick. How about that kick? I love it.
And there's our first look tonight at striking the Wonder Dog on television. How about this defense tonight?
Got a penalty out there. I'm not sure what.
Three of our officials meeting right now near the 20-yard line where the flag is.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 26, Arkansas State, half the distance to the goal.
Wow.
First down.
That's on Trent Ellis Brewer, sophomore from Daphne, Alabama. No penalty at half a distance to the goal, and the Red Wolves have had some penalty issues here tonight.
Adam, I know we talked about Parker Davidson maybe doing kickoffs, and that was Parker's kick, and that was a great kick.
Yeah, the Aggies have switched things up now. Parker Davidson kicking off and Dylan Brown kicking field goals and PATs. That's Jeremy Parker, our referee, with Blake Anderson, the fourth-year Arkansas State head coach. They're not used to close games, by the way, during Blake Anderson's tenure. 26 of his 28 wins have been by double figures. The Aggies, meanwhile, have played a lot of close games this year. Some have gone their way and some haven't.
True statement.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but the Aggies certainly could be better than 3-4.
All right.
And the Red Wolves have a number of blowout wins to their credit. So they're going to start here from the 7-yard line. Running back here on this pistol look in the end zone right now is Johnston White. The Red Wolves have to be careful. They go to White, trying to break through the hole. Jasavia Reese, Roy Lopez, Miles Veen also right there. Aggies able to stop the run very well here tonight. Roy Lopez was one of our impact players tonight, and he's lived up to the billing. Justice Hansen. Play is blown dead. Let's see what the call is.
Snap infraction. Offense, 64. Half the distance.
Well, that's on the center, of course, Jacob Still. They have a very young center, Danny. Jacob Still's a redshirt freshman. This is an entirely new starting O-line. Troy Elliott made 2 starts last year. Everybody else is brand new. You'll have those types of things just 7 games in for Jacob Still.
Now that's 6 penalties against Arkansas State. You got to take advantage of all those things. Those are breaks that you can make them pay for.
2nd down and 12. Jacob Still's father was an All-American lineman at Tennessee. Dangerous area here for Arkansas State. Hansen kept it, and the Aggies stoned him. Javon Ferguson leading the rush.
You know, Javon Ferguson came screaming in the last time on that blitz where there was a movement call, but this time he wasn't going to be denied. And Hansen, he gets a break again. The ball bounces right to him. Otherwise, you really pin him on the 1 or less. There you can see it just drops the ball and bounces right up to him. Lucky break.
3rd down and 13. Hansen throwing from the end zone. Dancing around in the end zone. It is almost intercepted. Malik Demby had it in his chest. And that could have been a pick 6.
What was he already counting it? He was already counting it in the end zone because it looks like he had it in when he was moving. He threw it right to him. Let's see if you can take a look at it. Lots of pressure there. You can see Harrington coming in from the outside there. Malik just jumps right in front and hits him in the chest.
So now in this situation, not a whole lot of room for Cody Grace to punt it. He is in the back of the end zone. They need a great snap here. Can't afford a bad one. Grace, the redshirt sophomore from Australia. Good snap, and he gets it away. Rose the third is near midfield. Another really good punt for Cody Grace.
That's a great punt, but a great catch by Rose right there to turn the field. So that's great. Didn't let that thing bounce.
52-yard punt for Grace. Aggies, though, with good field position. They will start at the 45-yard line. This defense is playing with passion. We're tied at 7. Las Cruces, there is Oliver Suka, linebackers coach for New Mexico State. His unit playing well. The Aggies have the football here at the 45-yard line. Previous 3 games, there you see it. Aggies have gone 1-2. Red Wolves have won 3 in a row, and nobody's really played them close. That Louisiana win, they outgained the Ragin' Cajuns 571 to 270. They've won 3 straight. They're 4-2. Good field position again for the Aggies. Incomplete. Arkansas State trying to make sure it was a forward pass. If it was a backwards pass, it's a fumble. Jason Huntley waving his hand saying, no, it was a forward pass there from Tyler Rogers.
Again, this is all about trying to get the ball out quick and getting into his hands so he can make a play on it. And he may have just peeked right there at the end there because it was a nice ball.
They're going to give it to Arkansas State. They're going to say this was a backwards pass, which means it's a fumble. And now it's under review.
That would be a big break for Arkansas State and one bad for the Aggies.
Well, that's the dangerous part when you throw it in the flat to your running back, and usually Huntley and Rose are sure-handed. So the call on the field is a fumble, which would give the ball to the Red Wolves.
Yeah, so that looks like it's forward right there if you look at that. I'm not sure that'll stand because I was just going to comment, too, what a great job we did in turning the field and having field position now. But if we give the ball back, then it's all for naught. But we'll see how they come out on ruling on that.
And the Aggies have done this a ton. They've thrown to Huntley in the backfield. He had 11 catches in the last game 2 weeks ago at Georgia Southern. He has 24 catches for the year coming in. And it seems like, Danny, what Doug Martin has done as the offensive coordinator is just try to find different ways to use Jason Huntley because he's not getting a ton of carries, and he can be a breakout threat, and that's why they've used him in the passing game.
Right. Well, 2 things. One is you're going to do that, but you're also going to put some confidence back in Tyler. So you give him a quick, easy pitch and catch where he can make the throw.
All right, they changed the call. Incomplete pass.
Clock to 7-10. 7-10,
which I think is the right
please.
call. But so I think he's trying to give Tyler a little confidence too, right? Since the timing's off, we missed some throws. It's like, hey, let's get Huntley the ball in the open.
Huntley's out now, and Larry Rose III, who's played well tonight, is back in. Rose III missed the last game 2 weeks ago with a knee injury. That open week really helped Larry and some others get healthy. Faking the pass to the ground for Rose III. He's down to the 46-yard line. Only gets 1.
That's a great call, but that defense is so fast in there. So you spread them, you make it look like you're going to throw it, and you have a little draw in there, but that defensive line wasn't full.
3rd down and 9 for the Aggies. They need the 45-yard line. Here's Rogers back to throw on a 3rd down. Rogers has some time as he rolls out to his right. Finds a target. It's complete to O.J. Clark, who Rogers has targeted a bunch in the game, but they haven't been able to connect.
So Tyler Rogers, look at the rush, though. So you got four-man rush and lots of pressure. Gets him out of the pocket. He's running around there waiting for someone to break open. And there he finds O.J. coming across the middle. It's a great job by Tyler.
Really good patience there for Tyler Rogers. 3 receivers bunch top side of your screen. Empty backfield for Rogers on 1st down, and he is taken down from behind. Another sack. And that's Christian Howard again.
You know, Christian Howard, when they came up and said, hey, Christian Howard's number is going to be 45, and we thought, okay, that sounds good. And I was looking on the 2 deep and others, and it's like, oh, well, maybe we'll call him, maybe we won't. But there he is right there again. He is all over the place.
They have a number of guys they can use in the D line. They're big in the middle, speed rushers on the edge.
Look at that. Look how open that is right there. I'm sure Coach Martin's going to notice that and look for a QB draw sometime.
2nd down and 16. Out of the reach of Jason Huntley. Flag is out.
That's what happens when you get a fast guy across the middle and you can't keep up. You just kind of reach out there and you accidentally grab a handful of jersey to slow him down, and that's what they did with Jason Huntley.
Once again, our referee is Jeremy Parker.
Pass interference, defense, 22, spot the foul, first down.
Caleb Bonner, will linebacker for the Arkansas State defense, a freshman from Reform, Alabama. He's the guilty party.
And you see it right there with his right hand. He just reaches out there to slow him down a bit.
First down for the Aggies from the 38. Looks like a designed run there for Rogers, and it's sniffed out by D-liner and crew for Arkansas State.
Very fast. Look how fast that Arkansas State defense came screaming in there on that. So they weren't fooled one bit. They were sitting, they were patient, and as soon as he pulled that out to run it, they just smothered him. There was nothing there.
No loss, though. It's second down and 10 for the Aggies. They're going to call it 11, so a 1-yard loss. Rogers with just 3 receivers, both on the top side of your screen. Dumps it off underneath, and that was Julio Scott.
Pass is complete. Number 16.
And it's going to be third down and long for the Aggies. Tied at 7. Clock moving. 5 and change left in half one.
You know, Adam, there was lots of pressure on Rogers, so that's part of the reason why he hasn't had some good passes downfield. So lots of pressure, flushes him out of the pocket, and he's trying to look for something quick. But their defensive coverage, Arkansas State, is so good, there's not a lot of people that you can go to.
Aggies need the 28-yard line. Third down and 11. Rogers going backwards, and he's pulled down near midfield. The helmet of right tackle Isaac McLean came off. Another Arkansas State sack.
You know, this sack here, he looks like maybe there wasn't anywhere to go with the ball, but he was looking to get out of there in a hurry. He wasn't as patient as he has been in other plays, Tyler Rogers, and sitting in that pocket.
5th sack this year for Caleb Caston, the bandit on that D-line for the Red Wolves. He recovered a fumble for a TD last week in the win against Louisiana. So here's Theisler again. Blaze Taylor standing at his own 15. They're going to rugby style this one low. A dangerous kick. Taylor's going to scoop it, and he's short of the 30-yard line. I guess that's one way to make sure Taylor's not involved.
Yeah. It almost got to be a problem, though, where it just skipped and bounced right into his hands.
Blaze Taylor is one of the most prolific return men in Sun Belt history. 4 career punt return touchdowns. He has the second most return yards in Sun Belt history, the most in Arkansas State history. Here's his head coach, Blake Anderson. And Blaze Taylor's father is Trooper Taylor, who's on the staff of Arkansas State. He's the cornerbacks coach and also the assistant head coach. There's Trooper Taylor. He was a great return man back in the day at Baylor. Chauncey Mason, the ball carrier for Arkansas State.
You know, Javon Ferguson has been in a lot of tackles in there. He's sticking his helmet and everything.
Mason gets 3 yards. It's second down and 7 for the Red Wolves. Hansen, one-step drop. Slant route caught. Omar Bayless, who caught a touchdown earlier. And Bayless is to the 40 for a first down. They'll mark it at the 41-yard line.
You know, good coverage by Owens out there. They throw that little quick comeback route, and Owens is there. If he could just get a little bit faster to pull that thing out of there.
And this is just like the Aggie wide receiver unit. You don't know who it's going to be. Now they go to Kendrick Edwards, who makes the catch. Ball might have come loose there at the end, and Edwards able to pounce on it. He's an Arkansas transfer. Sat out last year due to transfer rules, and Arkansas State trying to go with tempo now, trying to move quick. Hansen will pull it. He eludes 2 defenders, and he dives across the 45-yard line. If it's a handoff to Mason,
oh man,
it's a loss. So Hansen doing a good job.
Yeah, he's doing it with his legs. You know, we would have had a great play there, right? Almost had him in the background. Doesn't count. pulls it out, and he's able to keep it alive and get some positive yardage.
First down and 10 for Arkansas State. Play action again. Hansen able to step up again. Fires a pass intended for Edwards through his hands. On the coverage there for the Aggies was Shamad Lomax.
Lots of pressure on Hansen, so you're going to come back and keep pressure going there. Shamad had great coverage there.
Hansen has run for 38 yards in this game. He ran for 121 last Thursday. Both teams had a lot of time to get ready for this game. 9 days for the Red Wolves, and the Aggies had 2 weeks. Mason will stay in the backfield for the Red Wolves. He's really their fourth string running back. Hansen, zone read, and he's taken down. Dalton Harrington, the leading tackler in the Sun Belt, also leads the Sun Belt in tackles for loss, and that's for loss.
Yeah, and that's one way to do it. It's just Dalton, we asked about these run-pass options, these other options. He said, well, I just got to be patient. You can't be jumping into something. That time he was very patient and made a great play right there.
3rd and 14, Arkansas State, tied at 7. 2 minutes left, first half. Hansen has time. He launches, and it's caught. A flag came out, but it's hauled in after being bobbled by Justin McInnes. What a grab.
That was a great grab. That was great defense, too. Lots of time to throw the ball. Gets it out there. And it was a
pass
late
interference.
flag.
Offense number 14, blocking downfield, 15
It
yards.
was pass interference on Chris Murray, who didn't even make the catch. Murray, a senior from Tampa, Florida, leads the team in all-purpose yards. Wow.
Yeah, I was just going to say, wow, that's 11 penalties in Arkansas State.
The positive side of this for the Red Wolves is 11 penalties in the first half, and you're tied on the road against a good football team.
Yeah.
3rd down and a mile for the Red Wolves. They need to get the 33-yard line of New Mexico State.
And that's been 11 penalties on them for 85 yards.
Timeout called by Blake Anderson and the Red Wolves.
Arkansas State, second charge timeout.
This Aggie defense has stood tall
timeout
all evening, allowing only 7 points to a team that is leading the Sun Belt, averaging 41 points per game.
Yeah, so now go back at him and think about that one that hit Malik right in the chest. How nice would that would have been? Ifs and buts and all of that, right? But, man, right there, defense is playing lights out.
Here's a look at the upcoming schedule for the Aggies. Texas State and Louisiana on the road. That final game against South Alabama, that is a home game. So at Texas State, at Louisiana, and then home against Idaho and South Alabama. So the Aggies with 2 road games and 2 home games remaining. 3rd down, 29 yards to go for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Justice Hansen, and the Red Wolves. And they're just going to put it on the ground at Chauncey Mason. The younger brother of former Auburn star running back Trey Mason. That's the conservative play there for the Red Wolves.
Mr. Lopez, no, I don't think so. Him and Javon Ferguson in there.
State.
There's Javon. Great stop. Great series defensively.
And now the Aggies will have some time. Remember, the Red Wolves will get the ball to start the second half. And the Aggies have 1:18 right now left in half one. Javon Ferguson is just bouncing around. I mean, he's on cloud 9 right now, playing well in this Aggie defense as a unit. This is probably the best half of football they played, Danny.
I think it is. I really do. I think they've been all over it. They've made some big plays. A couple got away from them. Get one score. Hey, but that's a tough Arkansas State. If you can get out of here with only allowing them 1 score, that's a solid 2-quarter victory, in my opinion.
They've held Arkansas State to just 149 total yards so far. 92 in the air, 57 on the ground. The penalties have not helped the Red Wolves. Rose the third, calls for a fair catch, and he will haul it in at the 16-yard line. So 1:11 left to go, a long way to go, and we really haven't seen the Aggie offense do much, but you can make up for a lot right here if you can drive and at least even get 3 and take a lead.
Yeah, so the thinking is certainly if you can make something happen, you're going to do it. So you're going to come out and try to throw the ball a little bit and make it conservative passes. So you don't want to gamble everything and give the ball back to Arkansas State with good field position. So you want conservative things that you can throw, complete, or at least they get out of bounds.
One timeout left for the Aggies and for the Red Wolves. Quick strike to Greg Hogan to the sideline. Gets out of bounds. Clock will stop. 1:07 left to go. Second catch here tonight for Hogan, who was really involved 2 weeks ago with 4 catches, 86 yards, and a score at Georgia Southern. Hogan gets 5 yards. Second down and 5 for the Aggie offense. From the 21-yard line. Rogers going deep. Anthony Muse right there.
Wow. Hard to see if he grabbed that thing, but that's nice. So they come out, last play was zone. This time they came out with a single high. They were man coverage, and there's a lot of receivers we can go to there. So that's a nice pitch and catch, and he got out quick too, right? So he's not sitting on the ball. Stays in the pocket, nice throw.
Anthony Muse gets 17 yards. Empty backfield for the Aggies. Trying to move with 1 minute left to go. Rogers throwing right, double coverage. It is tipped and incomplete.
That was almost problems there. It shows the confidence that Tyler still has, right? So after not having the rhythm we talked about a little bit, he comes out there and launches that ball across the field, almost into double coverage there. Playing a too deep zone, and it's going to be tough to get behind that. But that's that outside pass where it's supposed to be safer.
Second down and 10. Rose the third to the left of Rogers. Only 93 total yards for the Aggies in this first half. Pressure from Javon Rowland-Jones. Rogers able to get away, and then Hogan can't make the shoestring catch. Third down and 10.
Hogan's got to grab that. Larry Rose got the dubious honors of trying to block Rowland-Jones, which didn't work out so well. Rowland-Jones is tough. He is very tough.
Javon Rowland-Jones, arguably the best NFL draft prospect in the Sun Belt. Third down and 10, under a minute left to go. The Aggies 2 of 9 on a third down tonight. 3-man rush for Arkansas State on a third down. Underneath, it is caught. That's O.J. Clark.
Hey, what'd you think, Adam? Did you think it was going to get over the linebacker? I know you were looking at the same thing, going like, oh no, oh no, oh no. The confidence, look at the confidence in that throw, though, because he has to drop it in before the defensive back, but over to the linebacker. Great confidence and great catch, too.
That was the linebacker, Kyle Wilson, who tried batting it down. A whistle before the snap.
Timeout. Arkansas State.
Timeout,
30-second
Arkansas State.
timeout. Third and final timeout.
That's the final timeout for the Red Wolves. 36 seconds left, and so far, so good. The Aggies moving the ball well here in this series.
Yeah, that last play was really the big play that's going to open it up. So you still got to get, let's see, how many more yards you got to get? Another 15, 20 yards maybe to get within field goal range?
Yeah, the long this year for Dylan Brown is 39 yards. His long last year was 50. So 50 is probably the spot where Dylan Brown would feel most comfortable.
Yeah, so you got to get 20-plus yards here. So that was great because, that last completion, if you don't get it, you turn the ball over to them with a minute left.
Arkansas State with a bye week and then South Alabama. They're trying to go to 5-2, trying to go to 4-0 in the Sun Belt. Tightly contested first half. We're tied at 7. Rogers going deep. He has Jaleel Scott. And Jaleel Scott,
oh my goodness,
is able to make the catch. My goodness.
Okay, Adam, so the last one I said, did you think the linebackers get it? Hey, this time, Adam, did you think they were going to have a safety come over top and pick that thing? Because he threw it where they're almost half too deep, right? 2 guys in coverage deep, very back safety help, and he still manages to get the ball in there and make a great catch.
And right now a player is down for Arkansas State near the 30.
Well, that hit him right in the breadbasket there, didn't it?
Hopefully it's just a cramp. At first glance, Danny, I thought that was 11. I thought that was Javon Roland Jones.
I did too.
And I have my binoculars out.
Yeah.
It is.
But it does look like a cramp. It doesn't look.
That is number 11, Javon Roland Jones, the Sun Belt MVP last year.
So what about the confidence to stay with the deep ball for Tyler Rogers, even when things haven't been going his way quite a bit, right? He's still had enough confidence to try to get that ball in there. And Scott, great confidence on Scott's part to pull the ball down when it hits him. It looks like it goes right past the defender's hand and hits him right in the breadbasket. And when he turns around, it just defender barely misses it, and Scott just manages to hang on. That's a great catch.
41 yards in the connection right there. Rose the third in the backfield with Tyler Rogers. To Tyler's right is Bryce Roberts, the tight end. Look for Bryce Roberts. He makes the catch. His third straight game with a score.
Check you out, Adam. Look for him, and there it is. Sure enough, looks like you've been going to practices and watching, spying just a little bit. I love the tight end play because you haven't thrown much to him, and he's been a main blocker the whole time. And this time he sneaks out, but he comes from the right and comes around to the left side and sneaks right out of there. Great pass, great job to finish off that scoring series.
The big fella, 6'4", 270, out of Yukon, Oklahoma. 5 catches during his freshman year, 3 of them for touchdowns. 3 straight games now for Bryce Roberts. Point after good for the sophomore Dylan Brown.
That's a great call right there. That's one you've been working on. You get to work on and practice quite a bit, and there's a time you're going to say, okay, there's going to be a time we need it, and this was a great time right now.
I would say going into the season, when you saw the amount of wide receivers the Aggies could use, you probably thought, okay, we have 2 freshman tight ends, Roberts and Xander Yarborough. There's probably no footballs for them. I mean, there's no way we can include them enough in this offense, and all of a sudden Bryce Roberts is included in this offense. There's Xander Yarborough, who is talking to Bryce right after the touchdown.
The other tight end, right? Yeah. So what a great job. And you don't get your name called a lot, and when you do, it's important that you make that grab, and he did. Hat off to Coach Martin, because Coach Martin, had to be able to call that play and says, okay, now we get down here. Do we go back to running Rose? Rose is what we scored on last time. So he's sitting back there thinking, okay, now they're going to be thinking, I'm going to give it to Rose. And so they're fake to Rose, dump the ball. Great job. Great call.
New Mexico State with 14 unanswered and an impressive late second quarter scoring drive led by Rogers, the redshirt senior. Squib kick from Parker Davidson. And it will roll out of bounds, out of the reach of Jonathan Adams Jr. 24 seconds left here in half one.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, getting out of bounds and put the ball back on the 35.
Ladies and gentlemen,
24 seconds. It's not over, though, so you still have to come out and you have to be able to play some defense. And you don't want to play so soft and so deep that you're going to give them enough passes to get down the field and be able to kick a field goal. So you still have to play a bit.
That scoring drive, 7 plays, 84 yards in only 47 seconds. That's what we expected earlier from this Aggie offense.
Right.
Free kick out of bounds, number 24. Ball will be placed at the 35. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 34 on the receiving team, half the distance to the goal. Arkansas State, first down.
That's 12 penalties.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
That's Darian Jackson, the Derby, Kansas native in his first year with the Red Wolves, a transfer in from Coffeyville Community College. 12 penalties on the Red Wolves in one half a play. So they were going to have it at the 35-yard line. Now it's the 20. And they go to Johnston wide on the ground.
Yeah, I think that last penalty kind of took him out of anything big they were going to go for.
And they're going to let the clock roll out now. So that's going to be all for one half a play. And in something we haven't seen in a while, here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, the New Mexico State defense is trying to will their team to a win. The coaching staff's trying to make sure that no extracurriculars happen before heading to the locker room.
12 penalties, it really is surprising. Do you think some of that is just kind of they're getting uptight a little bit because things weren't going their way?
I'm not sure. It's really hard to figure out because Arkansas State has been a pretty composed team this year. Really well coached.
What do you think Coach is saying there? He's got to get focused. You got to maintain. He's telling them, make sure you don't look. It's not over. You got one half. That's a great team over there.
There's some good energy here at Aggie Memorial Stadium tonight as well on a chilly night. We're going to try to catch up with the head coach, Doug Martin, if we get a chance. See if we can track him down. Coach, can you hear us down there? Coach, you got us down there on the field?
Yeah, I've got you.
Coach, how about that final drive that Tyler Rogers led?
Yeah, that was a great drive. We're having a lot of trouble up front, pass protection right now. We're getting overwhelmed up front. We've got to do some things to help the offensive line, but Tyler's playing as well as he can right now.
Hey, Coach Danny Nee, how about that defense? Great play those first 2 quarters.
Well, we're able to get some pressure on the quarterback, Danny. That's the big key for us. And we've limited the running game. We're making him have to actually throw the ball down the field. And they're a good offense, so it's going to be a long game here second half.
Finally, Coach, you like your position right now?
Yeah, we just got to get this thing in the fourth quarter with it close, and then it's ours.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. That's New Mexico State fifth-year head coach Doug Martin. If the Aggies pull this one out, maybe the best win during his tenure, certainly one of them. Still a final 2 quarters left to play. Here at halftime in Las Cruces, 14-7. The Aggies have a touchdown lead. Halftime coming your way next. Touchback to start things off a kickoff by Parker Davidson. Arkansas State will have the ball first to start the third quarter. Adam Young and Danny Nee with you. Great to have you with us here tonight. We were going to talk about some first half stats, Danny, and we'll talk about that as we have a moment here. The glaring stats are the offensive stats, which aren't as good as they usually are for both these teams.
Yeah, I believe you. Just not there. We're expecting explosions on both sides of the ball in offense, but maybe that's a testament to the defensive coordinators for both these clubs that have kept those offenses in check.
First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Quick strike caught by Justin McInnes, who will drag a tackler up to the 35-yard line. They're going to mark it just shy of a first down, it looks like. Yep, looks like a half-yard shy there for McInnes. Second down and 1. Hanson back to throw again. He throws underneath his tight end, Blake Mack, who bobbles and then catches, and flags come in. Mack, with his first reception today. And we'll see what the flag is for.
The pass is complete. Personal foul. Targeting. Number 2, defense. Previous play is under further review.
All right, here's our first targeting call tonight. It's on Terrell Hanks. And if the Aggies lose him, Danny, that would be a huge loss.
It would be a huge loss, but there's a lot of guys that have stepped up and have done good and coming in to replace. And let's see there. I think that's a tough one.
He's already been ejected once this year for targeting. The question always is, did he lower the crown of the helmets? They're going to review here to see if the call is held up, and if so, the player is disqualified. And once again, it's Terrell Hanks. Right there, it's a free ball because Matt didn't have it.
Yeah, I was just going to say he touched it, so it's live.
12 of 17 for 112 yards and 1 touchdown.
I understand they're trying to clean up the game and make it more safe, but have you liked the targeting call, or has anybody liked the targeting call?
I don't think anyone has really liked it because there's a consistency issue of trying to call it, and I think whenever you have officials that are making these calls that aren't consistent, no matter what side you're on, there's always some, it just doesn't seem fair one way or the other. And part of that is you have to be consistent, but how do you be consistent with some of these calls? Because it's just vague, and so it's just hard. I get what they're trying to do, Adam. It just makes it tough.
Terrell Hanks is a redshirt junior, 3-year starter from Miami, Florida. Third in the Sun Belt in tackles, and I think he knew it immediately, as you could see his emotion right there. This is a huge call. This is an elite linebacker and a key part of this Aggie defense that has played exceptionally well tonight.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 2 for targeting is disqualified. 15-yard penalty.
Mark it down, 14:33 left in the third, and a big disqualification for the Aggie defense. Terrell Hanks is out. Who steps up in his absence? We'll see. And right now it's Billy Knipp, the seldom used redshirt junior out of Nashville, who's in at that same linebacker position. Hansen will keep it straight up the guts. And he's tackled by Ron LaForce, the junior from Alabama.
And so this is what you do if you're the offensive coordinator on their side. You attack where they just lost someone, and that's exactly what they did here.
And they go after Billy Knipp. Second down and 2 for the Red Wolves. Straight back is Hansen. He spins and he's dropped. Javon Ferguson once again.
You know, if Javon could just get a little more excited tonight. He has been everywhere, very excited. And that's, you know, that's one way to cure it, is just like go tackle the quarterback, go get a sack, and then it doesn't matter what happens, and it doesn't matter what you try to do. We're going to force our hand on you. So that's a great job by Javon.
Loss of 7 on the sack. Third down and 9 for the Red Wolves. Ferguson, a junior from Baton Rouge, has been great tonight. That's 2 straight really good games for Ferguson. Hansen drops back on third down. Pressure again, and he's dropped again. Billy Knipp, who just came in.
So there you are. Here's the thing about football, is that sometimes you're called upon, and that's your time to shine. And this is your way to saying, I'm going to get on the field, and I'm going to earn a position, and I'm going to keep it. Billy Knipp came screaming in, called a blitz. He came in on the top side. Great job, great sack.
First career sack for Knipp. 5'11", 2 1/4, playing Sam linebacker now with the ejection of Terrell Hanks. Another punt for Cody Grace. A low snap, he gets it away. Rose the third at the 10. Good bounce there for the Red Wolves, and they will down it at the 1-yard line. Outstanding punt again by Cody Grace. He has played a big role in this game.
You know, so part of Rose's jobs and some of those is to make sure that you get the ball and it doesn't pin you at the 1. But in this case, he thought it was going to bounce in, and it takes a funny bounce and just goes to the 1 and stops. That's just tough. That's just tough luck.
43-yard punt for Grace, and this probably goes back to experience. Larry Rose III has not been returning punts prior to this year. So Rose III all of a sudden now returning punts, and that's a position where you need experience, and he doesn't have it.
And being on the 1, it limits the play calling by Coach Martin, because you got to come out here, you got to make sure you get some positive yards and you don't give up a safety. So you got to get the ball out of the end zone.
In motion is Connor Kramer, the quarterback turned wide receiver. Rogers from the end zone rifles a pass for O.J. Clark, 1-on-1, trying to get by the defender. He's up to the 10. Tackle made by Kyle Martin, the senior from Wichita, Kansas.
How about how aggressive O.J. Clark was on that drive? Catch the ball and go get as many yards as possible to hang on to the ball. You do got to make sure from a receiver standpoint you take care of the football when you try to make something happen on those run after catch.
Aggies get 9. It's second down and 1 from the 10. Handoff to Rose the third, and he gets near the first down marker. We'll see where they mark it. Maybe a first down. It's going to be awfully close, and they'll give it a first down. So the Aggies move the chains. First down and 10 from the 11.
Well, you got to go, wow, finally get out of the near end zone. Now we can get a little more room. They're still not out of good working position. You got to try to get another first down where you can start really spreading out and calling some things.
Look at those numbers for Rogers. Just 126 through the year. 280 or more in every game coming in. In the flat is Rose the third, and this is going to be a loss. B.J. Edmonds from his strong safety position taking down Rose the third for a loss.
Yeah, that's one of those times where you try to think I can get outside, but BJ came very fast. He came flying in there, and he just couldn't get outside. You almost got to say, look, just go get 2 or 3 yards. Just a quick toss and open space there, and there's just nothing there.
Second down for the Aggies from the 11. 2 guys in the backfield, and it's incomplete. Looking for Larry Rose the third. Third down for the Aggies.
You got to get rid of that quick. You know, you have someone in your face right away. We heard Coach Martin talk about trying to get a little more protection for Tyler, and they're really, in his face quite a bit and makes him get a little happy feet. In that case, there was no happy feet about it. He was just going to get hit. He just had to dump the ball.
Aggies are 3 of 10 on third down. They were 51% coming in. They go to the ground on a third down and 10. Conservative play call to Larry Rose III. Interesting right there. The Aggies do have a 7-point lead early on here in the third. Surprised they didn't pass it there?
I am. I'm quite a bit surprised there. And so maybe there was something that he saw that he didn't want to put the ball out there. But yeah, or maybe he thought they were going to play pass, and so let's come back with a run and see if you can't sneak a first down.
Hayden Theisler will punt it out of his own end zone. With 10 and change left in the third quarter, and he kind of shanked that one a little bit, and it touches an Aggie. It was Jonathan Hood who had it backspin towards him. So really, really good field position for the Red Wolves in Aggie territory. Just a 34-yard punt for Theisler. Aggies by 7 early on in half 2. Upper 50s here tonight in Las Cruces, so a little chilly for this place here in southern New Mexico. Adam Young alongside Danny Nee. Red Wolves with good field position on their second offensive series in this half. 6 straight bowl games for the Red Wolves, 43 Sun Belt wins in their last 7 years, 21-2 in October in the last 7 years. They're the back-to-back Sun Belt champs. And right now they trail the Aggies 14-7. New Mexico State looking for a monumental win here at home in their first home game in over a month. Red Wolves football in Aggie territory. A little trickery here, and the Aggies able to read it, but then Omar Bayless eludes a tackler.
Wow.
And he just gets back to the 45-yard line, an end around that they tried last week against Louisiana.
Yeah, so trick plays aren't beyond them without a doubt. So get a little reverse action here, kind of throw the toss ball back. Malik blew it up, though. When you get deep into the backfield, none of that stuff really works. And so thank Malik, and then, of course, Dalton had to go make a tackle as well.
Malik Demby's had his hands on everything here today. In motion is Jamal Jones, the running back. Pass is complete. Still on his feet. And finally tripped up Omar Bayless again.
Yeah. Owens had a chance to tackle him as soon as he caught the ball, and it just kind of slid down there and allowed him to get some extra yardage after that. Try to put a little pressure on there, which means you end up in man-to-man coverage. So you're in man coverage, and
incomplete, intended for Blake Mack, and then almost caught by Chris Murray. But that pass was intended, or at least it seemed, for Blake Mack, the tight end.
You know, Adam, we're talking about Hanks and how that, will cause some pressure on that defense. But Anthony, the stats guys said, hey, look, got 1 tackle for Hanks. I would thought he had a lot more in the game. It just felt like there was a bigger presence he had.
Second down and 10 for the Red Wolves at the 27-yard line. Jamal Jones, the running back, low snap for Hansen across the middle. Bayless again incomplete, deflected by DeMarcus Owens, one of the Aggies' top tacklers out of the secondary this year.
I'm thinking pick. I think Owens saw that thing. He planted as soon as that ball was out of the hand, and he broke on the ball. He just barely, just a half a step from really taking that, but instead he can knock it down and nothing there. Great defense.
The Red Wolves have not converted on a third down. 0 of 7. Pressure coming. Hansen hit as he throws, and he overthrew Kendrick Edwards.
At halftime we heard Coach talk about the pressure that they've been able to put on Hansen, and it's pressure again that makes him throw the ball quick where the receiver's not out of the cut, and it's out of, no way to catch it.
This would be a new season long for Sawyer Williams. He will try from 44 as long as 43. He's 8 of 10 this year. 7 of his 8 makes inside of 40, though. One of the players late to get on the field. Out of the hole, the backup punter, Damon Facha. Williams for a new season long. Right down the guts, and he made it. The Red Wolves pull within 4. Sawyer Williams, the Allen, Texas native, a redshirt sophomore, connecting from 44 yards away. So he is now 9 of 11 this year. And we have a close one tonight in the Fun Belt. 14-10, Aggies ahead by 4. Away here in quarter number 3. Tonight's game is sponsored by the New Mexico Department of Agriculture and also the New Mexico Farm and Livestock Bureau. It's Ag Day and homecoming here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. 3rd home game of the season for the Aggies. 3 of the final 5 games are at home. First home game in over a month. Aggies looking for their most wins in a season since 2011. A win tonight would move them to 500 at 4-4. And they're going to be on the receiving end of this Sawyer Williams kickoff with 9:12 left in the 3rd. Seems like they're in a pretty good position right now, Danny.
Yeah, they are. It's a good game.
Jason Huntley will not take it out. He'll take a knee, and the Aggies will have it at the 25-yard line. We do get a flag coming out, though, at the 30. Would this be penalty number 13 on Arkansas State? Let's see here.
There's no flag on the play. First down at the 25-yard line.
All right, they'll pick it up. The penalties have really hurt the Red Wolves in this game tonight. If you're the Aggies, Danny, what are you looking to see right now from Rogers, Rose, and company?
I think you're looking for a long, consistent drive, and it could start with a decent run or a pass to open it up a little bit, but you want some consistency in a long drive.
Rogers will throw on first down. Rolling to his right, pressure coming from D-liner, incomplete. That's when you look up and you see 6'3", 337 pounds running at you.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there, and there's nowhere to go. Everyone was covered, and so part of what you're trying to do now is you get more protection. So you got max protection staying back. It leaves less guys out running patterns, and they were all covered. Nothing he could do with the ball.
So 2nd and 10 for the Aggies from the 25-yard line. Clark in motion. They give to Rose. He has a hole, but he's taken down. Kyle Wilson, the Mike linebacker from Wichita, Kansas.
You know, he came across sideways to grab Rose and not let him out of there. That's good. Speed from side to side. It really makes it tough to get outside him. You just can't do it.
Rose gets 3, 3rd down and 7. From the 28-yard line. 5 out wide for the Aggies. Empty backfield for the redshirt senior Rogers. Quick strike, incomplete. Aggies are hoping there's a flag and hoping that Rose was tripped up, but he wasn't. And the Aggies will punt it away with 8.5 left in the 3rd.
Seems like it's hard to get the rhythm back, right? It just doesn't seem like it's there. You know, can't get anything running, can't get much passing. I think they're trying to protect more. But still, it seems like Tyler's got, it makes it tough to stay in the pocket and be patient. What we need here is a good punt to get us, turn the field on us a little bit.
And Peyton Theisler's been creative trying to kick it away from Blaze Taylor, who's the return man for the Red Wolves. This one he's just going to boom. And it's a hard line drive kick. Taylor able to field it at the 25-yard line. Taylor upfield across the 40. There is where he is dangerous. Blaze Taylor, the senior from Waco, with good return yardage again, a 17-yard return. Good punt, though, from Theisler of 52. The Red Wolves down 4 with the football after this. Return for Blaze Taylor in the return game for Arkansas State sets them up nicely with 8:21 left in the 3rd quarter. It's 14-10 Aggies. The Aggie defense really good tonight, led by that man Frank Spaziani in year 2 as a defensive coordinator, Danny.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Coach Spaziani, and I tried to give him as many compliments because I thought he's really doing well. And as many compliments as I gave him, he deflected every single one of them. I finally said, "Hey, Coach, I'm trying to give you a compliment here." And he said, "Okay, Danny, I'll take it. But there's so much more work to do, and I think we're on the right track, but I got to keep everyone focused." And I'm okay with it.
Spaziani, the former head coach at Boston College. Quick strike to Justin McInnes, the junior from Quebec in Canada. McInnes with his 4th catch to lead the Red Wolves here tonight. He gets 6 yards, 2nd down and 4. Hansen has Johnston White in the backfield with him. No Warren Wand again tonight. 2nd straight game he has missed. He's been their best rusher this year. McInnes for a 2nd time, and he hauls in his 5th pass. Good yardage on a 2nd down, a 1st down now for the Red Wolves.
He made a break on that, and it's just kind of a wolf out there by the defensive back that came in screaming in to try to make a big play and ended up just running right past McInnes.
1st down and 10 from the 33. Red Wolves down to 4. Hansen to launch again. This one towards the end zone for Chris Murray, and it's incomplete. That was Jaden Wright who was there in the coverage.
Great coverage by Jaden Wright back there. In fact, he looks back and almost put his hands on there. He was running right with him. Great ball, too. That was a great pass, right? So it was only one place to miss out of bounds. But Jaden Wright had great coverage, ran with him the whole time.
Wright having a good year, but he's been slowed by a hamstring injury that happened early this year, but he's been playing better as of late. Slant pass to McInnes. It's been all Justin McInnes on this drive, and Jasavia Reese able to track him down from his defensive end position.
Those quick screens, a little tunnel screen almost where you're kind of running back towards the inside to the tunnel there. You can kind of see it forming, and we just haven't been able to defend that very well.
Hansen here on 1st down with White in the backfield. Steps back, rolls out to his right, pressure coming from Harrington, and he overthrows Chris Murray. There's Dalton Harrington again, forcing Hansen into a tough throw.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did, because if you would just let him go, he'd get out there, and Hansen can run the ball. We saw that in the first half. So if you don't account for him, he'll make you pay by running the ball. So it's a good thing Dalton got out there and got a little pressure on him.
Midway through the 3rd, Aggie defense has been great tonight. This Red Wolves offense trying to get going. Play fake for Hansen. Throws towards the end zone. He has Kendrick Edwards, and it's through his hands. Edwards, a big target, 6'5". DeMarcus Owens right there for the Aggies.
I talked to Coach about the big, tall receivers, and this is Coach Martin, and he was saying, hey, don't forget, we have a big, tall receiver we play against every day. So Marcus Owens used to seeing those big, tall guys.
The Red Wolves 0 of 8 on 3rd down. This is a 3rd down and 10 from the 23.
And Adam, they're 0 for 8 on 3rd downs.
Unbelievable. And a timeout is called by the Aggies. I don't think Oliver Sukup liked what he saw. Oliver Sukup is right there on your TV screen. Great job by our crew. And he did not like what he saw with his linebacker unit with Javon Ferguson, who makes the calls. Javon Ferguson's the Mike linebacker. He has to be the vocal guy. And Oliver Sukup, as you could tell right there, did not like what he saw with Ferguson in that unit.
And although he looked very irritated there, I think the better thing to do is to call the timeout and make sure you get caught in the right, or you get the right defense called and people in the right position to make a play, as opposed to just saying, we'll correct it later, because then you get scored on. So it's a good timeout.
Secure your seat in the Pan Am Center for the 2017-18 New Mexico State women's basketball season. They have a new head coach, Brooke Atkinson. They're hosting Western Michigan, UC Santa Barbara, and more. 575-646-1420 for tickets. Right back to action. Out of the timeout, 3rd down and 10. Pressure came. Escaping pressure, Omar Bayless into the end zone. His 2nd score tonight.
You know, this is where you dial up a little pressure like we've been getting on Juwan Ferguson on the pressure there, but he dumps it. It's just a quick dump pass, and he just squirts through, and you end up in man coverage, and he just gets it and pushes it in the end zone.
A quick release for Justin Hansen with pressure coming, and the Red Wolves have regained the lead. They led early 7-0. Trying to make it 17-14 with this point after try from Sawyer Williams. And it's good. A 3-point lead now for the Red Wolves. Omar Bayless, the redshirt sophomore from Laurel, Mississippi, came in with 3 touchdown catches for the year, and now he has 5. Justice Hansen with his 23rd touchdown pass. That is one shy of the school record of 24.
Hey, that's a great pass by him. There was pressure dialed up by Javon Ferguson who put a hit on him, and he was still able to get the ball out and get it to Omar, who can just take that thing to the house.
So it was 14-7 Aggies, now 10 straight for the Red Wolves to take a 3-point lead, and this is what good teams do.
Yeah, and here you see Javon Ferguson come in there, put the pressure on there, and Dalton Harrington try to jump someone and make a play and just couldn't do it. You know, Coach at halftime, Adam, he talked about being close in the fourth quarter. He didn't come out and say, you know what, we're just going to, drive a stake in them and they're going to go away. He knew better that this is a tough team. So 3-point down, you got to make sure you get your team rallied to say, don't you give up. Don't think that the momentum has shifted. We still have it. Let's put it together. Let's put together a good drive and get some points on the board and stay in this game.
Previous 2 home games for the Aggies this year was a tight game just like this against Troy, which resulted in a 3-point loss, and a blowout win against rival Utah, a game that was never close. Now the Aggies find themselves down 3, trying to dig deep here at home. Williams with a good boot, and the Aggies will have it at the 25-yard line. 6:55 left, third quarter action. This score is nowhere near where we thought it would be at this point. I would have said 30-27, something like that.
Yeah, we readied ourselves for a shootout, didn't we? We're like, okay, let's you watch that side, I'll watch this side. When you see score there, we'll see a score. And it just hasn't been that way. And part of it has been the defense. And really, it breaks down to even further than that, Adam. It comes down to pressure on both quarterbacks. And that's really been the story so far.
And I guess part of this, too, is both teams have pretty good defenses coming in, and both defenses have played well. These aren't one-sided teams at all. Rogers is dropped, but a flag comes out. Tyler slow to get up. I didn't see much here, Danny. We'll see what the call is.
I didn't either. I did see, I think it's a hold.
It's on Krishawn Edwards, sophomore from Tulsa. And that'll push the Aggies back 5 yards.
Holding, offense, 51. Penalties decline, second down.
Okay, they're going to decline the penalty, and they'll take the sack.
You can look at Roland Jones right there. He's tough.
Second down for the Aggies. Rogers under pressure again. Roland Jones anchoring that defense again. And now the O-line really struggling for the Aggies, and Tyler Rogers in some pain.
Yeah, nowhere to go with this. He tries to step up into the pocket, but it just wasn't one guy. It was multiple guys that were all over him there. Now you got to put it back on the defense, right? Because now you're deep in your own territory. You're going to punt the ball out, and it's going to give them good field position, and the defense really has to stick their heels in and hold so you can still stay close.
Aggies need the 35-yard line. So they need to go deep, and they will go deep into double coverage, and B.J. Edmonds may have picked it off. He did. B.J. Edmonds with the interception, his first interception this year for Arkansas State.
Yeah, you just try to do a whole bunch, and sometimes you try to do too much. Double coverage there, and Jaleel Scott just didn't even have a chance to get up there and even knock it away.
First interception tonight for Rogers, 14th this year for him. Now 6 of those came 2 games ago. He also had 2 interceptions against Georgia Southern, so now 9 picks in the previous 3 games for Rogers. And Arkansas State has the chance to go ahead by potentially 2 scores here. And I'm watching Rogers on the sideline, and he's limping a little bit. Hanson, the give to Jamal Jones, who stays on his feet across the 30-yard line. Big run for Jones, who's a redshirt sophomore from Memphis.
A little tempo here. They're going to feel like they have the momentum, and they're just going to try to pour it in there. Or
why not go back to the ground and smashing forward is Jones, who lowers his head towards the Aggie middle linebacker, Javon Ferguson. 6 yards there for Jones. It's 2nd down and 4. And the Red Wolves moving the ball quite easily here on this possession. Hanson escapes pressure, rolling out to his right, and then he's dropped. Dalton Harrington with another big play.
That's a huge sack right there.
It's a loss of 9 yards. Harrington came in leading the Sun Belt in tackles and tackles for loss. He now has 4.5 sacks for the year as well. An impressive student athlete from Hallettsville, Texas, making his 29th career start tonight. 3rd and 13 for Hanson in the Red Wolves offense. It's White in the backfield. It's Hanson dropping back. Fires, and it's intercepted. Shimon Lomax with his 4th pick this year.
Hey, that's one way to turn the tide, right? That's one way to get the momentum back in your favor, is you make something good happen. A pick by Shimon, that's something good. So now you have to make something of it and get the momentum back. Capture that thing there. Again, starts with pressure. He's got to get the ball out quick, tries to get the ball out before the receiver's out of the break, and Shimon just makes a jump on the ball. Good break on the ball there.
Hanson with just his 7th pick this year. Cedric Wilcox, the 2nd, is the man down right now for the Aggies, and he gets up okay.
The ruling on the field is an interception. The previous play is under further review.
I'm going to take a look at it. Shimon Lomax with his 4th pick, and for the Aggies, that is a league best 11 now if it stands. Did you see him bobble it at all, or?
I did not. I thought it was good, but I'll take a look here.
Well, it's where he came down. Did he tuck it? Did he cuff it over the turf or not? Now, if the call does get overturned and it turns into an incomplete pass, it would be 4th down for Arkansas State, but the Aggies are hoping to get an interception here.
Yeah. You know, again, the pressure on the quarterbacks on both sides. Let's take a look here.
I don't think you can tell, so
yeah, I was going to say, hard to tell
if you can't tell, it's going to stand as an interception.
You know, Adam, for both these defenses, we talked about the quality of pressure and
the ruling on the field stands. Interception. 1st down.
There you go.
New Mexico
That's
State.
a great break for the Aggies.
So an interception for Rogers, intercepted by Edmonds, and then the Aggies return the favor as Shimon Lomax intercepts Justice Hanson. And now Lomax has a team-high 4. He was tied with LaForce with 3, and now team-high honors with 4. Rose the 3rd trying to find the edge, and he's tripped up by Kyle Wilson. This defense for Arkansas State is awfully good.
And we talked about Kyle having that side-to-side speed, and Rose just couldn't get around the corner there, and he was on the hunt.
Red Wolves only allowing 22.5 points per game coming in. The Aggies were averaging 31. 30 points or more in 5 of the 7 games this year for the Aggie offense. Rose in motion out left. Rogers across the middle. Caught by Greg Hogan. Hogan is going to be a few yards short of the 1st down here, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and short for the Aggies.
It's a big 3rd down right here. That's the one time so far that Tyler had a little bit of time in the pocket and was able to find someone open. Hogan open over the middle. they're giving them everything up short. So they're playing too deep. Got 2 deep guys there and going to give them everything up short. That's short of the first down, and so see where they go from there.
Aggies need the 27 here on 3rd down and 2. Clock under 4 left in the 3rd. Rogers with the pitch. Rose the 3rd needed a block from O.J. Clark. He doesn't really get it, and the Aggies are going to have to punt.
It gets back to one coach you're talking about. I got to be able to run the ball so I don't become one-dimensional. The run in the second half has not been there, and without that, it makes it difficult on the pass. So now we call on the defense again, Adam.
Yeah, now O.J. Clark talking to his receivers coach Corey Martin and the head coach Doug Martin. He needed a block there for Larry Rose III, and he was just overmatched there on the edge. Another punt from Peyton Theisler. Blaze Taylor's had a couple of pretty good returns. He has to backpedal inside the 30. Returnable, though. Taylor with running room. He's dangerous across midfield. Blaze Taylor trying to beat Connor Kramer on the outside right, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 20.
That's a heck of a boot, but that's a heck of a return, too. So way back. Now you got to stay in your lane and not give up anything, and just created a little crease in there where he just almost took it to the house.
There you see a foot race with Connor Kramer, who eventually pushes him out of bounds, and give credit to the punter, Peyton Theisler, who was there as well. So from the 20-yard line, it's 1st down and 10 for Arkansas State. Officially at the 19 here. Hansen will throw on 1st down, incomplete. Jonathan Adams Jr. was there, but nothing doing. The coverage from DeMarcus Owens.
Got to have composure. Got to have composure on the defensive side of the ball, because a lot of things are happening right now. The last thing you need is a collapse. So they got good field position. They do. But you still have to go back and be disciplined on the things coaches have taught you and play what you're supposed to do.
2nd down and 10 for the 19. The Aggies showing blitz. Billy Knipp there on the outside, top side of your screen. And Knipp gets Justice Hansen barely. Got his hand on him, and Hansen couldn't stay on his feet.
That's a great job by Knipp there, to be able to get his arm out there, whatever it takes to make a play. So he came in there, almost bit on the dive, was able to get back enough to get an arm out there to knock him down.
And in case you're just joining us, Terrell Hanks was disqualified for targeting early on in the half, so Billy Knipp is playing in his place. 3rd down and 13. Red Wolves 1 of 10, converting 3rd downs on the road tonight. Red Wolves with wins in 21 of their previous 25 conference road games. They've been great on the road away from Jonesboro. Sliding left is Hansen to the end zone. 3 crimson jerseys. And it's incomplete. Intended for the tight end Blake Mack. Dalton Harrington was back there. So was Ron LaForce.
It's a great defense right there. That's a great job to be able to shut that thing down after they had this great punt return. So great job in the secondary. I was looking for Bayless Omar, who's been scored every single touchdown so far, but they go to the other side, and great job on defense.
This is a 39-yarder for Sawyer Williams, who made one from 44 earlier in this quarter. Out of the hold of Damon Fatsham. Williams hooked it, and it's no good.
Wow.
Just his 3rd miss all year. Williams now 1 of 2 on field goal attempts, and this is a big miss for the redshirt sophomore from Allen, Texas.
Oh, you're right. He did it. He just hooked it barely.
Going back to special teams, I know that was a few plays ago with the return by Blaze Taylor. Have you seen improvement in special teams by the Aggies tonight, or do you just give credit to Blaze Taylor and how good he is?
Well, I do see some improvement, but I do think there are areas that we still need to continue to work on. And so, but yes, certainly kickoff is a lot better.
Underneath to Anthony Muse on 1st down. The Aggies have really struggled in special teams. That's been one of the areas where Doug Martin really focused on during the bye week. Aggies knew they needed to get better in special teams, both on punt returns and kickoff returns. 5 yards on the reception by Muse. It's 2nd down and 5 for the Aggies. Rogers will throw again. Great throw as he rifles it into the chest of Jaleel Scott, his 6'6" target.
Yeah, that is a great throw. You mentioned it, and defense right all over Jaleel, and he's able to make that catch, but even better pass as he's doing a deep crossing or in route there. He has a little time in the backfield and allows him to make a great pass.
Aggies are at the 42-yard line. Rogers, tons of time. Streaking is O.J. Clark. He hauls it in. O.J. Clark veering to his left towards the end zone, and he's tripped up from behind. Inside the 5-yard line. They'll mark him down to the 4.
You know, I saw 2 receivers at him that I wasn't sure if he was going to go to. He had one to the far right, and then you had O.J. Clark kind of in the middle there. And I thought he was going to go to deeper, but he saw the skinny post or post pattern by O.J. Clark that comes open, and it's just a foot race. That's a great job right there, especially to even hang on to the ball.
1st down and goal for the Aggies from the 4-yard line, trying to go ahead, trailing by 3. Rose the 3rd, pounds it ahead. Maybe gets 2 yards. He's down to the 2-yard line, a pickup of 2. That was a 55-yard connection with Rogers and Clark.
Yeah, that'll help certainly, and those are tough yards right here, 2 yards. This is going to be important that you try to get a 6 for sure, not get out of here with a field goal.
It's the end of the 3rd quarter.
And that's the end of 3 quarters. Boy, do we have a dandy for you.
Wow. So, Adam, Coach said, I want to be close in the 4th. What do you think?
They're close. Aggies driving, down 3. 17-14 Arkansas State as we get set to start the 4th. Aggies trying to go to 4-4. Arkansas State trying to go to 5-2, trying to stay undefeated in Sun Belt play. All right, here we go, Danny. 2nd down and goal for the Aggies from the 2-yard line.
Oh, and they come out with an empty backfield. Did not see this coming either.
So the Aggies with 5 out wide on 2nd down and goal from the 2, and it looks like Arkansas State at first seems a little confused here.
Got man coverage.
Design keeper for Tyler Rogers, and he scores his 5th straight game with a rushing score.
How about this chess match we have? Come out with an open backfield, spread them out, everyone's man, and then just quarterback draw for 6. Great blocking up front there. Look at the hole. Look how they turned those defenders to either side, and he just snuck between them. Offensive line, great play by the Aggies. Great job.
Rushing touchdown number 6 this year for Rogers, who has 20 through the air. Dylan Brown is on for the point after out of the hold of Connor Kramer. The Aggies trying to make this a 4-point advantage. Brown is ready. Good snap, good hold, and it's through. My, oh my. The Aggies going 5 out wide, and they sneak it in with Rogers.
Like the call. That was an important extra point there as well. It's a great job by the Aggie defense to hold, come back with great, big, huge pass down to O.J. Clark that really got that thing in the right direction. Comes back with a fantastic call.
You know, Danny, this looks awfully similar to our previous telecast when we televised the Troy game. I know the Aggies are hoping for a different result, but this is very similar. If you're looking for exciting football, you're getting it again tonight.
It is very exciting football. Both Troy and this game, those are 2 very good conference teams, and you know, we're standing toe-to-toe with them. And I always believed from the first time that we opened with Arizona State, there's not too many guys we can't play with, and here we show it again. So let's see if we can't finish it, though.
Dylan Brown handling field goals and PATs. It's Parker Davidson who's kicking off now for the Aggies. So low squibber. Adams Jr. will let it roll. And it's sitting on the 3-yard line. It hadn't gone out of bounds. Jonathan Hood came down.
What?
How about the placement by Parker Davidson?
I need to take a look at that. Hopefully we get a good shot of it too. I can't imagine because the official, the ball looked like it stopped, right? And the official was looking at it.
A low line drive squibber that Jonathan Adams Jr. let roll.
I don't know what to make of that call right there. Well, the offsides, not the offsides, but the ball being out of bounds right there.
Heads up too by Jonathan Hood to come down and get
it.
That's my football if it's not out of bounds. There's the Aggie fifth-year head coach, Doug Martin, looking for a marquee win here tonight. Many could argue it would be his best win as the Aggie head coach. From the 35-yard line, Justice Hansen, the redshirt junior from Edmond, Oklahoma, takes the snap. Handoff to Johnston White, and he's smothered. He's smothered by Dalton Harrington.
Like the patience, like the confidence, sure-handed tackler. Dalton comes in and makes a great play there.
Red Wolves moving quick. Gain of only 1. It's 2nd down and 9. Hansen launches near side of the field for Justin McInnes, who gets across the 40 to the 42-yard line for 6. It's 3rd down and 3 for Arkansas State.
Yeah, it comes out, throws that thing quick, right? So try to not let everyone get set, and that way it won't have any pressure on him. There you can take a look at that kick again.
I don't think Parker Davidson could do that again if he tried. 3rd down and 3. Quick drop by Hansen, completes the pass to Kendrick Edwards for a 1st down. Big frame, 6'5", 216 redshirt junior from Miami.
You know, he runs that little slant. That's very tough when you're behind him in a good position, but it just makes it hard to make a play. So the best thing you can do is try to tear it down or just tackle him where he catches it.
From the 48-yard line, they fake the pitch. Receivers open everywhere. This one is caught. And it's Kendrick Edwards once again. Down to the 35-yard line.
It seems like we were out of position on that last one. I'm not sure what was going on, but it just kind of looked convoluted where everyone didn't have their zone, their drop zone, and there were people everywhere open.
Red Wolves moving the ball well here. Behind the redshirt junior, Justice Hansen. Screen pass, Aggies all over it. Ball was dislodged by Harrington. Shamad Lomax there as well.
So they're coming back to that little tunnel screen that's been working so good for them, but I guess that's one way to break it up, Adam, is just blow it up and hit everyone, and that's what happened.
Harrington has 11 tackles, 3 for loss, 2 sacks, and 2 pass breakups in this game.
And we need him still. We need him to do more.
2nd down and 10 for the Red Wolves. Hansen takes the snap. Designed run. Aggies can't get to him. Hansen still on his feet across the 20 near the 15-yard line. I think he got by one of the Aggie linebackers there, and I couldn't tell who it was. Was it Malik Denby?
That was Javon Ferguson. You see right there in the middle, and then come down. You know, it'd help if he had a flat pursuit to it, but he did get the corner on him, and we said he can run, and he turned it on, and he got good positive yardage.
Good enough for a 1st down. Hansen gets 20 on that play. Johnston White pounds it up the middle. A host of crimson jerseys right there. Not a whole lot in the running game today for the Red Wolves from their running backs. Hansen, 15 carries, 30 yards before that one. 7 carries, 24 yards for White. Really nothing doing running game-wise. They're without Warren Wand, but even without Warren Wand, usually a pretty good running team. Hansen to the air towards the corner of the end zone, and it's caught by Chris Murray for a touchdown. What a route.
That's tough. That's Dalton Harrington out there on coverage, and it's just tough. You get nice little play action in there, and you just dump it out as he goes right to that corner spot. Well, that wasn't Dalton.
It was Jaden Wright.
Right.
Chris Murray with his 5th touchdown catch this year, and Justice Hansen has now tied a single-season school record with 24 touchdown passes. Sawyer Williams will tack on the extra point, and back and forth we go. Now the Red Wolves lead by 3. So Justice Hansen, the numbers have not been phenomenal tonight, but still pretty good. His 3rd touchdown pass gives the Red Wolves a 24-21 lead. Justice Hansen to Chris Murray gives the Red Wolves the lead once again, 24-21 here tonight in Las Cruces. That is the 3rd touchdown pass for Hansen. So, as we mentioned, that ties the school record for a single year with 24. Tonight's game sponsor is the New Mexico Department of Agriculture and also the New Mexico Farm and Livestock Bureau. And ask for a much better game. We've gone back and forth. The Aggies led the half 14-7. It was 17-14 Arkansas State at the end of 3. The Aggies scored 4 seconds into the 4th. And then just about 3 minutes later, the Red Wolves tack on a touchdown pass from Hansen to Murray. And the Aggies will get the football back at the 25-yard line. Have you seen improvement, Danny, in the offense here in the second half?
I have. I think the offense has given Tyler a little more time to throw the ball, and that's why we had some big passes down there that set up some scores. It's just a tough game. It's a tough back and forth. I think both coaches have made adjustments to what they're trying to do and give their quarterbacks more time. Pressure on both sides was really the key to the first half. Second half is trying to create some times so their quarterbacks can work a little better.
Rogers has thrown for 206, a touchdown and a pick. Rose III has ran for 55 yards in the game. Aggies have it here, first down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Rogers to the sideline. It's O.J. Clark. Can't make a man miss. Justin Clifton right there to make the tackle for ASU.
Yeah, that is a big throw right there by Tyler. That's from one side of the field to the other, and he threw that thing on the line. That's a heck of an arm. Not much O.J. could do with that. Good coverage.
Rogers was averaging 30 completions per game coming in, which was first in the country. He's only completed 18 today. He's gone to O.J. Clark a bunch, and he's going to go right back to O.J. Clark, this time on the near side. And he's pushed out of bounds, and the Aggies will have a 3rd down upcoming.
Important 3rd down right here. And all these pass patterns, everything that Tyler is throwing is quick, so there's no time to have pressure. There's just no way that they're going to stand back there and see if they can get to him, because it's a great pass rushing team.
Aggies at the 33. They need the 35-yard line. Clark in motion on a 3rd down and 2. Good block by Larry Rose III, blocking Roland Jones, giving Rogers some time, and it's incomplete. But Larry Rose III picked up Javon Roland Jones, and he was able to block him.
Yeah, that's just a tough one right there. That's one that you need. That's a catch we have to make. Across the middle. Had to stretch just a bit, but still, that's one that you got to pull down.
So Rogers going O.J. Clark for a 3rd straight time, and with 11-14 left in the 4th, and down 3, the Aggies have to punt it to Blaze Taylor. Taylor has dominated the return game tonight on punts. He does not call for a fair catch.
Is that gutsy or what?
That was gutsy because Jonathan Hood and Leon McQuaker were coming in pretty hard, and
they were coming in hot, and they didn't stop one bit or let up.
Aggies down 3 early on in the 4th. We're back after this. We are back to action here at Aggie Memorial. It is Red Wolves football, and they have it at the 28-yard line. Hansen to the ground, and Jamal Jones. Look at Xavier Reese. And we also have Deshaunte Lloyd right there for the Aggies.
Nothing doing there, was there? That was a hole plug right there, and I think that's where Arkansas State's getting back to, let's run the ball. Let's use the clock up a little bit, but not a lot. Those are hard yards right there.
Jones gets 3. Rolling out left is Hansen on 2nd down and 7. Billy Knipp can't hang on. Harrington and Owens there with the help. The pass was complete to redshirt senior Dijon Pascal.
That's a great job by Billy. If you can't make the play, you at least have to figure out a way to hang on where help can come, and help did come. So that's a great job.
Red Wolves get 4 on the completion. It's 3rd down and 3. They are 2 of 12 on a 3rd down. Empty backfield set for the Red Wolves. Hansen, quick strike, hit as he throws, and he completes it to Chris Murray. He was hit by Javon Ferguson, but he still made an accurate throw.
Yeah, he's taken some punishment back there, but he stood in there and delivered some strikes, and that's just another 1st down. That's a big 1st down.
We knew he had a quick release, and we saw Brandon Silvers a little over a month ago, the quarterback for Troy, and Hansen looks like he has a quicker release.
Yeah, that's very fast.
Hansen going deep, and he completes it. Dijon Pascal again. Harrington there on the coverage.
84.
Get back in zone, and they just find that little open seam in zone and just throw it right in there. That's what happens when he has lots of time back there to sit in that pocket and pick you apart.
Justice Hansen has thrown to 8 different receivers today. And this one is complete again, and it's Chris Murray again. He walks in the end zone for his 2nd straight touchdown. Busted coverage, Danny. Nobody around it. Billy Knipp was well behind.
I think you get out there and get into man coverage, and you just find some mismatches that you can pick on, and that's just a great job right there.
Touchdown number 6 this year for Chris Murray. And now Hansen has the school record. That's his 25th touchdown pass this year and his 4th in this game. Fancham throws a pick on the extra point try. That was Shamad Lomax. I don't know if that was a bad snap or if Fancham couldn't get the hold down and decided to throw it. Now it's still a 2-possession game, so it could have been a little bigger if it was still a 1-possession game, but right now it's a 9-point lead for the Red Wolves. Player down for the Aggies, a 9-point lead for Arkansas State. We're back after this. Shamad Lomax, who just made the interception on the failed extra point. Damon Fancham had to throw it, and he threw it to Shamad, who came off limping, and now he's on the alligator cart. And it looks like he's going to be carted off the field. So not good news for the Aggie secondary. Well, just 5 minutes ago, Danny, it was 21-17 Aggies, and now it's 30-21 Red Wolves with a blink of an eye.
Right. Well, and here's where you go from here. There's still 9:16 left. So from an offensive perspective, Adam, I think you get your game plan and you wad it up and you throw it away and you say whatever we can get, we do. We don't say let's try to establish the run. You get back there and you try to move the ball because you got to get 2 scores and still hold them on defense. Mm-hmm. And if that means you got to be one-dimensional, then you spread them out wide and you become one-dimensional and throw it quick because their pressure is going to continue on Tyler.
And the Aggies have had nothing in the ground game anyway. Only 29 yards rushing for the Aggies. Rose the third has not been able to get going, and Jason Huntley has been non-existent, and Rogers has had pressure all evening. Flag is down there in the end zone.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 31, kicking team, 15 yards into the run.
That will not make Blake
down.
Anderson happy. Jared Chandler is the guilty party. When you're ahead by 9, you do not want to take an unsportsmanlike on a kickoff. You do not want to give the opposition any advantages, and much better field position here from the 40 for the Aggies and Tyler Rogers, who more than likely he's going to throw a ton here in this possession.
Right, and every little bit helps, and so that was a little bit that was given to the Aggies.
13 penalties now for Arkansas State. Rogers 19 of 36 for 214 through the air. He's going to O.J. Clark a ton. Pressure comes from Howard, trying to roll away, and he tosses it. They're going to say it's an incomplete pass, I believe, not a fumble. Flag is down near the 40. Just really good pressure again up front from Arkansas State.
It makes it tough for both quarterbacks.
Intentional grounding, New Mexico State holding defense, those penalties offset. Replay, first down.
All right, so the Aggies catch a break.
You get a mulligan.
So Rogers escapes Howard initially, and there's one of the best in the business, Javon Roland Jones, who was right behind him. Aggies with 9:10 left here in the fourth quarter. Down 9 at Aggie Memorial Stadium on homecoming. A little more pressure there for Rogers across the middle, and he's picked off. Jeffrey Gibson picks off Rogers, his first interception with the Red Wolves, and he takes this one inside the 20 before he's upended by O.J. Clark.
Yeah, so this is just a case of trying to do a lot because you know you have to catch up, and so you're just going to try to force it in here. Out of your bottom of your screen on the far right, which you can't really see, there was a wheel route that was coming out of the backfield that was wide open, and of course it's easy to see from up here. That's just a tough interception right there.
Second interception for Rogers. Now he has 10 in his previous 3 games. Gibson at his 3rd different school. Began at Clemson. He redshirted there 2 years ago. Last year he was at Arizona Western. And now he's in his first year with the Red Wolves. And the ball is placed at the 9-yard line. This was a game 5 minutes ago. And now the Red Wolves are trying to add to their 9-point advantage. And some of the fans are leaving here at Aggie Memorial. Hansen will tuck it and run to the sideline. Aaron LaForce wraps him up. It's funny how quick things can change, and
momentum.
They change quick.
Yeah, and momentum. It just flip flops in a hurry.
25 of 40, 297.
4 touchdown passes tonight for Justice Hansen, who began his collegiate career at Oklahoma. Was behind Baker Mayfield and Trevor Knight, 2 outstanding collegiate quarterbacks. So he transferred to Butler Community College. Was there for a year, and now he's in year 2 at Arkansas State. He's a redshirt junior, big guy, 6'4", 218. And he goes to the ground to Johnston White, who will dance into the end zone. His 27th career touchdown.
Well, Aggie's going for it all. Defense, you line them up, you try to bring everyone you can and just get any stop any way possible. So you got everyone lined up and just kind of fall down, and he sneaks his way right on through.
White able to pinball off a couple of tacklers. His 2nd touchdown this year and his 27th career. The former walk-on from Covington, Tennessee. Sawyer Williams again for the point after. Hold is there this time by Damon Foncham, and the Red Wolves go ahead 37-21. And I'm sure the Aggies are asking themselves, what just happened?
Right, in just a second, in a blink of an eye, it's gone to, just two possession. We can get this thing back, and they just get up in a hurry.
Well, we've talked all evening about what Arkansas State has done historically in the Sun Belt. With 5 conference championships in the previous 6 years, and the back-to-back championships, 6 straight bowl appearances. This is what good teams do. You think you're there, you're hanging around. At one point you have a lead early on in the 4th, and then they punch you right in the mouth and start to pull away.
And you know, those interceptions make it tough. It's tough when you're trying to make a lot happen and you just force it, and throws a pick and turns it into 6.
And Arkansas State isn't used to close games. They're used to blowing people out.
Right.
A lot of their wins this year have been by wide margins. Their scoring margin in victories this year and in games in general was plus 19 coming in. And plus 16 right now. Jason Huntley from the end zone, muffs it, and it'll take a knee. Well, right now it's still a 2-score game.
It is a 2-score game, right? So it feels like it's a lot more, but you're right. It's a two-score game, and there's 8 minutes left. So there's a lot that can happen. So now you got to get back and say, well, what do we need to do to get down there and get a score on?
Rogers and the Aggies from the 25-yard line. They go to the ground now, and Larry Rose III breaks a tackle before he's taken down by Alabama transfer D. Liner.
You know, we really haven't had any way of getting our running game going at all, other than that one touchdown where we had a high dose of Larry Rose off the turnover. But other than that, we really haven't had much that we can get going on offense on the ground.
No gain for Rose. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Aggies. Bunched formation, top side of your screen. Rogers with pressure again, and he's sacked again. There's Javon Roland Jones on the sack for Arkansas State. He's 6'2", 241. 7 sacks now for the Red Wolves.
And there you can see him. He just bowls right past the offensive lineman for the Aggies and just right to Tyler. It looks like he's hurting a little bit.
Loss of 6, 3rd down and 16. Roland Jones, a 4-year starter. He is gifted athletically, has a great motor. Under 7 left now, and substitutions for the Red Wolves. They got Michael Johnson off the field and Gibson in. And now a timeout is called by the Aggies here.
New Mexico State, 30-second timeout.
And Doug Martin not happy with his team. We're going to take a look at the touchdowns from this game here tonight. Not a whole lot of scoring early. It was a 7-0 Arkansas State lead at the end of one quarter. It was only 14-7 at halftime. Here we see the first of 2 touchdown receptions for Omar Bayless in this game. Larry Rose III able to run one in from just 1 yard away, and then the Aggies took a lead on a Bryce Roberts touchdown catch in the 2nd quarter. And here's Bayless again. That was in the 3rd quarter, a 23-yard touchdown catch for him. The Aggies took a lead on a Rogers touchdown scamper from 2 yards away early on in the 4th. And then Chris Murray got going. We're back to action here, live action, as Rogers has running room across the 35. He will slide down across the 35 to the 36 for a 1st down.
I know he peeked over there to see where that 1st down marker is to slide.
Offense, 78. 10 yards previous spot.
Holding.
3rd down.
Brian Trujillo, the Albuquerque native. So wave off the Rogers explosion, and the Aggies are backed up
to the goal.
even closer to their own end zone. This game had good pace to it. It was back and forth, and now it's kind of in a standstill here with the Aggies trailing by 16. 3rd down and 26. Jason Huntley on the ground on a 3rd down. Huntley across the 20. And he will roll up to the 22-yard line. And things are getting chippy now. Some frustration really settling in here for the Aggies.
Yeah, that makes it tough. 3rd and 26, and not much you can deep in your own territory that you can call to get out of there. So now you got to punt the ball away to a good punt returner and try to dig your heels in on defense.
Busy night for this man, Peyton Theisler. Sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. Busy night too for Blaze Taylor, senior from Waco. Taylor will have a return. And he's wrestled down from behind by Drew Dan, who's a wide receiver on offense for the Aggies, and he makes the tackle there on special teams. 38-yard punt, 12-yard return for Blaze Taylor. And there's 5:40 left here in the fourth quarter, 37-21. And now if you're Arkansas State, you're going to try to run this out if you can.
Yeah, you are, and you're gonna continue to push. Certainly they're not going to hold up, and they're not going to say, well, let's just see if we can just take it easy. So the defense still got to play strong. You still got to try to create a turnover. This is what you need right now. Is you need a way to flip the field and get a turnover.
Red Wolves playing tonight without starting running back Warren Wand for the second straight game. So Jamal Jones and Johnston White have filled in. Chauncey Mason has played briefly. This is Jamal Jones on the first down run. Clock moving. 5.5 left to go here in the fourth. 2-possession game, 16-point lead for the Red Wolves. And another man down for the Aggies at the 40-yard line.
After coming off the bye week and coach was saying, oh, we're completely healthy, I think we've had a couple where kind of has put us back a little again.
This is Malik Demby, who's down for the Aggies right now.
Malik came out in the early part of the game and he was everywhere.
Shemai Lomax left moments ago, really, with an injury on a botched extra point try that he intercepted. Terrell Hanks was ejected early on in this half for targeting. I just don't see much there, but he kind of just fell backwards. And right now he is sitting up with the training staff, so that's a good sign. I wonder if maybe like Jones's knee came towards him. Yeah, maybe it was a knee from Jones. It's inadvertent.
Looks like he's walking. Normal, okay.
Clock is down to 5:24 left to go. 406 total yards for the Red Wolves, and the Aggies uncharacteristically just 249 total yards. They're used to getting that and many more through the year alone. NM State was averaging 359 yards per game through the air coming in. Jamal Jones, the running back again, on 2nd down and 6 for Arkansas State. He'll go to Hanson's left now, and he'll get the carry. He's upended by Dalton Harrington, who's not going to stop playing. You better believe Dalton Harrington's going to finish this game strong.
So I think with that tackle, that puts Dalton at 15 tackles and 2 sacks. That's a heck of a night right there. And you're right, he hasn't given up. He hasn't quit.
And Danny, in his last game, Harrington had 15, which was a season high, so he matches that season high tonight. And he's playing as good as anybody at the linebacker position right now around the Sun Belt. 3rd down and 6, clock moving. Aggies only have 1 timeout left. ASU has 3. Arkansas State will use one of those 3 timeouts as the play clock got down. And
first charge timeout.
There's just over 4 minutes left.
30-second timeout.
Well, this is the play right here for the Aggies, trying to stay alive in this game. It's a 2-possession game right now, and there's a little hope for the Aggies, but Blake Anderson and the Red Wolves have played a great fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could point to one particular area either that's just like a turning point. Close. Everyone wanted to be close in the fourth. We were at 3-point, in the fourth. That's close. And just all of a sudden, a couple of twerks, and boom, there you go.
3rd down and 6. Here's Chauncey Mason, who's wrapped up. I believe that was Jasavia Reese who made the stop on 3rd down. Yep, it was Jasavia from his defensive end position, a 3-year starter from Tyler, Texas. Chauncey Mason has been used a little bit tonight and a little bit here the last couple of weeks for Arkansas State. No gain, 4th down and 6 for the Red Wolves, so the Aggies will get it back here with under 4 left in the game. Aggie fans, remember to sign up your kids for the Junior Aggie Club presented by Southwest Dairy Farmers. Membership includes a Junior Aggie drawstring backpack, official t-shirt, and access to special events with New Mexico State athletes. Sign up for just $25 today through the Junior Kids Club website at nmstatesports.com. A little chilly tonight, Danny, here in southern New Mexico.
Yep.
Mid-50s, my goodness.
Yeah, I had to put the coat on here.
I know just 2 years ago I was playing golf on like December 20th. Bundled up here at Aggie Memorial Stadium tonight. Cody Grace will punt it to Larry Rose III. High punt. Rose the 3rd of the 10-yard line, and he will let this one bounce at the 1-yard line.
When you got it working, everything is working. There you go.
Special teams play for Seth Cottengim, the long snapper for Arkansas State, and the Aggies will have it the 1 with 3:14 left.
And that's a tough place to start from with being down and 3:14 left in the game. To start off on your 1.
The Red Wolves with a bye week next week. The Aggies are at Texas State next Saturday. Even if the Aggies cannot come back here tonight, they will still be only 3 wins away from bowl eligibility and a favorable schedule here down the stretch. Play is blown dead.
False start. Offense, 16. Half the distance to the
Starter
goal.
Jaleel Scott, a wide
First down.
receiver for the Aggies. So now some mental errors on the Aggie offense here.
Please set the clock to 3:14. 3:14, please.
The Aggies will have Texas State and then Louisiana, then a bye week. And the Aggies return home for their final 2 games against Idaho and South Alabama. And those could be historical games if the Aggies win a couple here on the road. Rogers throws, incomplete, over the head of O.J. Clark. Rogers is going after O.J. a bunch, and he's had a good game. 7 catches, 113 for O.J., who has 4 catches or more now in 4 straight games. That's been his main target today. Jaleel Scott has 4 catches for 61. We really haven't seen Jonathan Boone much. Isaiah Lottie was a game-time decision because of an ankle injury. And there's Jonathan Boone, and overshot by Rogers.
Yes, that's 2 passes that have just kind of drifted over both receivers right now.
Rogers 50% passing today, 19 for 38. This is 3rd down and 10 from the 1-yard line. The Aggies need to find some yardage here, even if they don't get a first down, to allow Theisler some room. Huntley escapes a tackler. Huntley is wrestled out of bounds by Kyle Martin, shy of the 10-yard line, and the Aggies will have to punt with 2:59 left.
Well, at least they got a little room there with Huntley taking the ball and getting a few yards, so they have a little bit for the punt.
We just really haven't seen the offense struggle like this. Even in the Appalachian State game, the Aggies were able to move the ball fine. They just had a bunch of turnovers. Rogers had 6 picks. But they were still scored 31 points on the road.
It just seems like the rhythm wasn't there today.
Theisler sends it away. Taylor has running room. Hit from behind. And the Aggies do a good job on special teams. And as the special teams All-American, Leon McQuaker has had a couple of plays on special teams tonight. Will Clement was also in the play for the Aggies. And for a while here tonight, Danny, we were praising the job the defense was doing, and then some blunders here in the fourth quarter, allowing Chris Murray to get free twice.
Also been some, a couple interceptions that kind of hurt as well, and so you add all those things on, and it kind of just adds up.
Chauncey Mason in the backfield with Justice Hansen. Mason fights his way across the 45-yard line down to the 46. He's the younger brother of former Auburn star running back Trey Mason. Appeared in 6 games in 2015 and then redshirted last year. Only had 10 carries for 85 yards coming in. But he had his first collegiate touchdown last week against Louisiana. Mason gets 9 at 2nd down and 1 for the Red Wolves, and they're going to use as much clock as they can. We're under 2 left.
Just continues to tick away, and that's their objective, is just to use the clock.
So the Red Wolves will improve to 5-2. They're going to stay undefeated, 4-0 in the Sun Belt. On the ground with Jamal Jones, and he gets the first down. Harrington, along with Austin Perkins, making the stop.
Adam, there was some talk early on about, coming into the game, and you have to be able to go four quarters, play 4 quarters of solid football. I think I saw 3 very good quarters, and the last one kind of hurt a little bit, but they're still making strides and still doing the right things. Just makes this tough.
Is this the best Sun Belt team you've seen this year?
I think so. I think it is. I really do.
The Aggies fell in a close one to Troy earlier this year. And then a few weeks ago, a 45-31 loss against Appalachian State. That was a game the Aggies also led in the 4th. Hansen will take a knee. You get back to the drawing board. You have a big game next week. Texas State is struggling. Meanwhile, the Red Wolves will have a bye week at 5-2, and they look like they are well on their way to their 7th straight bowl game and potentially a 3rd straight Sun Belt championship. Appalachian State was also undefeated at the start of play today. And the Red Wolves will stay undefeated in the Sun Belt.
How about Dalton Harrington's numbers for today? 16 tackles, he had 8 solo and 2 sacks. That's one heck of a day for him.
And that will do it. New Mexico State had a lead early on in the 4th. And then the Red Wolves pull away for 20 unanswered. It was 21-17 Aggies after a 2-yard touchdown run by Rogers just 4 seconds into the 4th. And then it was all Red Wolves after that. Red Wolves improved to 5-2, 4-0 in the Sun Belt. The Aggies fall to 3-5, and they are now 1-3 in league play. A record-setting day for Justice Hansen, who is now the single-season touchdown pass record holder for the Red Wolves. They win 37-21. Postgame is next.